very special day. It's the Orioles Day. Jim Palmer honored before the ballgame, throwing out the first pitch to his battery mate, Rick Dempsey. The Orioles all introduced, coming out from center field. 2015 Buck Showalter's Ball Club is home. And here at Camden Yards, Birdland, the Orioles come home, taking 2 out of 3 in the opener against Tampa Bay, now up against what's expected to be a big rival for the division championship, the Toronto Blue Jays. Welcome to opening day, everybody. Along with Jim Palmer and Mike Bordick, I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us. We said opening day is very special. These two have both been there before a number of times. Jim, I will start with you. I say opening day, and what do you think?
Well, I think you got to get it going. I mean, I played on a lot of teams, and the Orioles had a terrific year, 96 wins. They go all the way to the championship series, and they get swept. I lost the World Series along with the Orioles. The rest of my teammates to the Mets. We could not wait to get back, go to spring training, and start the season. So this, to me, this is what it's about. Great support. The fans are ready for everybody to come back. I mean, I can still remember what the clinching game was about. So the Orioles understand, to a man, coaching staff, and even I think the broadcasters, this is very special when you play at home and you get the kind of support that the Orioles were able to get last year.
Anybody who knows about opening day is Jim. 50 years with the Baltimore organization, honored here before the game, and we'll talk about it during the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mike Bordick, opening day.
Yeah, well, pretty impressive stuff for Jim Palmer there, 50 years in the game. But, I think my most memorable opening days was the very first one with the Oakland Athletics in 1990. It was a dream come true, and I think a lot of players have to pinch themselves, say, wow, here I am in a Major League Baseball stadium, in a Major League uniform, representing my home team. And you reflect on so many things that happen when you're a kid, playing Little League Baseball, the dreams, emulating players like Jim Palmer when you were a kid, and here you are under the lights, the fireworks, and the fans expecting big things. So there's a lot of nerves. I think it's a matter of just trying to settle those nerves down. A lot of players can't wait for opening day to be over because there's so much hoopla, the pomp and circumstance that goes on. Try to calm your nerves, get past opening day, move on to the season.
Well, Roy Campanella, the great baseball catcher and humanitarian, had one of the great quotes about the game I thought of all time. He said, you got to be a man to play baseball for a living, but you got to have a little boy in you, too. This is the day I think the little boy in baseball players shows up opening day at home. A couple of little boys on this team who are feeling just that way. Take a look. Chris Davis said, if you see me stop halfway and just fall down and cry like a baby, I think that'll probably answer your question. I hope I can pull it together out there. I feel like I have to. The image of myself as a tough guy would look pretty bad. Chris Davis on opening day, if the starting first baseman runs down there crying and blubbering like a baby, I'm excited. I really am. On the mound today will be Bud Norris. Bud Norris talked about opening day, thinking about it yesterday while he was here. Bud had the same kind of feelings. He, too, thinks, look, it's exciting. It's something I want to do. It means a lot. Obviously, Buck has a lot of confidence in our rotation. Anybody can pitch that day, but after the season we had last year and what we did for the city and winning the East by the margin we did, really building the momentum. Bud Norris went on to say about his appearance, going forward, I'm excited to be part of it again. The fans are going to be the full force. I'm going to have a little more adrenaline, but I'll kind of just control my emotions and just go out there and play the game. Bud Norris, but I'm sure I'll appreciate it more after the fact than before. Starting pitcher for today, Jim Palmer, Bud Norris.
Well, you try to relax, and that's hard to do. We know Bud. I mean, Bud, I play hard. I get ready hard. And hopefully, because he's pitching against Mark Burley, who's going for win number 200, who's now 461 starts, he's Mr. Relax. So we have a guy that's going to go full bore against a veteran, but Bud is coming off a terrific year last year. And, they played well. They supported him well. Dave Wallace, the new pitching coach, came along and really helped him, I think, solidify his command around the plate. He could hit the low and away corner with the best of them last season.
All right, Mike, as we get set for this opening day at home, a little bit of the history.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's great history, the great tradition that the Orioles hold, the World Series pennants, the teams Jim Palmer was on. In 1997, I had the privilege of playing for the team that went wire to wire got to win the division. And this team is very similar in the sense that they have a group of players that have been together. They have a great group of veteran players, even though they're very young still. And a good pitching staff. The rotation was tight back in 1997, and the bullpen was very strong. So many similarities to this 2014-2015 team. But the thing I look at most about those teams, at least back in 1998, after we won the division, was we lost some key players. We lost Randy Myers in the bullpen. Our manager was Ray Miller, not Dave Johnson. That turned over. And, you had to make adjustments. We had a problem, some injuries we couldn't overcome. I think this team has youth on its side. 27 years old, the starting 9. That's their average age. So they have the youth on their side, and they have all these pitchers coming back. Look for a positive year, another strong season.
All right, we are ready to go. So are the fans. Full house on hand as we get ready for the Orioles opening day at home. Orioles baseball coming up. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Royal Farms. Royal Farms ATMs are surcharge free. Get your cash for nothing. Bank or credit card fees may still apply. Here at Camden Yards, gates opened at noon time today. Lots of fans on hand when they opened, ready to go. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Jays today. It'll be Reyes, Pompey, Bautista, and Encarnacion, Donaldson, Navarro, Smoke, Pilar, and Travis. Josh Donaldson joining this team with some big numbers on the season, but not against the Orioles.
And take a look at our scouting report for the 30-year-old Bud Norris. Well, career year, 115 games. Just one of those years you play on a winning club. They support you well. Well, he bird-caged the Jays last year because he was 4-0, low ERA, 236. And then against the East domination, he was 9-1 against the American League East, won his last 9 decisions. Let's see if he can do it again.
Underway. And the pitch is in there for a strike to the delight of the crowd at Camden Yards. So Bud Norris, 30 years old. Reyes at the plate. Reyes has hit Norris hard, 10 for 28 in his career. And we'll take the pitch on the inside corner.
Well, you want to keep him off. I mean, wet track here, he's still 30 out of 32. When he's healthy, that's what he does. Scored 94 runs. And when you're pitching, you know they have a lot of guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but if he can small ball you to death.
Went 3 for 12 against the Yankees. Breaking ball, did he go? Check at third, no. Tim Timmons, third base umpire. And did not go around for the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Reyes.
Nice job right there, getting ahead and then trying to bury that slider down and in. Get him to chase very close. You get the call, but that's the way you want to do it. Get ahead, then work the perimeter.
.391 career average here at Camden Yards for Reyes. Here's the 1-2 delivery to him, and there's that slash swing.
Yeah, we always talk about the league average with 2 strikes. That's the league average was 176. That's what, 24 points under 200. You know better than anybody what it's like to hit with 2 strikes, Mike.
Yeah, it's hard, and I'll tell you what the difference is nowadays. Most hitters, it seems, have 3 chances to try to hit a home run, so they don't shorten up, make a lot of adjustments with 2 strikes just to try to put the ball in play. They're trying to put a mark on the board, so you see more strikeouts and more opportunities for pitchers to get those easy strikeouts.
Yeah, it's interesting because you look at last night's game. They get 4 runs in the second inning off of CC Sabathia. You think, oh, it's the Blue Jays. They have 3-4 guys that can hit the ball in the ballpark. 5 singles.
Yeah,
all over the ballpark.
1-2 delivery. There's the slash again, fouled off. John Gibbons Ball Club comes in with the same record as the Orioles, 2-1, as they took the 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. Gibbons' team with 6 rookies on the roster right now, loaded with power. Encarnacion has started out red hot in that first series. Keep an eye on him today. 1-2 delivery on the way. Everybody worried about the weather today, and with just cause, but it has not rained this morning. I mean, a little mist, and it's hazy, foggy right now, as you can see. Only 54 degrees. It's supposed to be up to 70 today. There's no way that's going to happen. Lined into center. Jones coming over. Diving. That's the way. No, he dropped it. Had it in the glove and could not hang on to it on the wet surface. And a base hit for Reyes, leading it off.
It appeared one of those knuckleballs. It had to come a long way. Look how far he's coming, and right out of the web.
Yeah, pretty nice play there. Nice at bat by Reyes. Good jump on this ball, and he's going to be upset just because it went in his glove. Anytime a ball gets in his glove, typically it's an out, and especially for Adam Jones. 4 gold gloves in this Orioles defense by Adam Jones out in center field. He's joined with Pierce and Snyder out in right field, who's had a strong defensive start to the season. Cabrera getting the start at shortstop with Scope over at second base. Of course, Machado and Davis on the corners. And Caleb Joseph doing his first opening day in an Orioles uniform. He's pretty excited behind the plate as well.
And Pompey, one of their youngsters, Dalton Pompey, we saw a little bit of last year. He is a switch hitter. He has started the season 0 for 8. He's got power. He is an exciting young outfielder. Reyes, always a threat to go over there at first, will be held by Davis. And the pitch will miss down low. So Reyes on with the opening base hit. And for Norris, forcing him to have to work out of the stretch here. And for Adam Jones, you know he's still talking to himself out there, as Mike said, about not hauling that one in.
Because the other factor, Gary, also early in the game is because he does have the ability to steal a base. Maybe you'll get Dalton Pompey a few more fastballs to hit. You know, young hitter, actually comes from the Ontario area, so he's a native Canadian. That plays big up there. And he's an outstanding defensive player.
Runner not going. That's going to be a base hit into right field over the head of Reyes. Chasing it down in the corner will be Snyder on his way to second base. Here's the throw. He'll let it go through, not in time. And Pompey, the switch hitter, delivers a double. And Toronto starts it out with 2 on and both in scoring position.
Yeah, this is kind of a continuation of what went on in the spring training. 9.29 ERA, gets a pitch in the middle of the plate, maybe a cutter that didn't cut. And all of a sudden, because of the speed, you got yourself a double, and because of that, Reyes gets all the way to third.
So an early jam. And here is Bautista's looking for his first hit of the year. He's got an 0 for 12. Second and third with nobody out. Obviously here first inning. Infield playing back. Great speed of Reyes at third. And the pitch will be on the inside corner for a strike to Bautista. Bautista with just a 1 for 13 lifetime against the Orioles right-hander. He's third. Encarnacion cleanup, and then Donaldson, the new third baseman, batting in that number 5 spot. Runners with good leads at each base. That'll be fouled off. Cued the end of the bat over by the Oriole dugout.
You see Bautista's power zone. He is a monster at the plate. He can hit the ball all over the place. The power zone is huge. Middle. He can cover the outer third. He can cover the inner third. Up in the zone. Down in the zone. So very dangerous. You got to work the perimeter. And right now, Bud Norris, a good start. Hard fastball in. Hard slider down and away. Now you just try to expand and hope for a chase.
Norris very effective last year when there were runners on base. Hit only .204 against him. That one's going to be another base hit. That'll score one. Snyder up with it. Runner will stay at third. So Reyes scores. RBI Bautista's first hit of the 2015 season, and it's a 1-0 ball game.
Yeah, he takes a pretty good slider, maybe a cutter, and turns it into a base hit because of his plate coverage. Look where this ball is. It's off the plate outside. So here's a guy that actually walked more than he struck out last year. So he protects, he gets the base hit. There's a lot of makings of what went on last night in New York against CC Sabathia.
Real tough start for Bud Norris. 3 batters up, 3 batters on. Burley won't mind that as he watches the runs come in to his benefit before he ever takes to the mound. Here's Encarnacion. He's the designated hitter. He's got a 3 for 10 lifetime off Norris, but what a start. He's hit in all 3 of the ball games played so far. 5 for 12. He's had 2 home runs and 3 RBIs on the season. First and third, and he was going for downtown. Maybe North Charles Street.
What a cut. Well, probably about as dangerous as a power hitter you're going to see over the last few years anyway. Putting up incredible numbers. Always swinging for the downs. Does not get cheated. Every chance he gets, he will let it fly.
And for a home run guy, makes a lot of contact.
Take the pitch inside.
Just amazing. You got to go back about 4 or 5 years when he was playing for Cincinnati when he struck out over 100 times. One of those rare blends in the modern day game of being make contact and still drive the ball.
He's a great hitter in this ballpark. .310 lifetime average here with 12 home runs.
And one of the reasons this is a hitter's park, and he can hit it out anywhere.
1-1 delivery to him, lashed in the air. Jones coming over. Runner will tag. He's got it. Pompey makes the charge to the plate. Throw off the mark. Sac fly and an RBI. So Encarnacion gets it done on the sacrifice fly, and the Jays take the early 2-0 lead.
A pretty nice piece of hitting right there by Encarnacion to get the ball deep enough. Adam Jones out in center field, knowing about Pompey's speed, just lets it fly. One shot, tries to put it on the base, but home plate just offline a little bit. Pompey really good speed there at third base.
Runner will stay at first. Bautista and Norris able to record the out. Here is Donaldson, and a player reckoned by many to be one of the real impact players for the coming year if he can add to what is already a very good Toronto offense, add more to it, along with playing at third base. And he will take the pitch inside. He has started out with a couple of hits and 11 at bats so far.
Yeah, this is a big pickup for the Blue Jays. They knew that they're going to need some power. They do have some team speed. You might see them utilize that here in this series, and that's definitely going to be a part of their offensive game. But Donaldson, big offensive numbers. One of the best offensive players and has been for a couple years now. Actually battled with Mike Trout, I think, offensively for wins above replacement. Josh Donaldson, you see his power zone there, so great coverage on that inner third, down and in, and he can work up and away as well. Make mistakes over the heart of the plate. Like many good hitters, he will make you pay.
He's had a couple of home runs here at Camden Yards, a 130 average in this ballpark. Not a lot of at bats. That's a tapper. Wet grass. It'll still roll foul. Balls like that today will be interesting because once they get on that grass, they're going to slow down and stop fairly quickly. Tarp has not been on the field today. Each team got their batting practices in, so the field's damp.
Yeah, another one where he just kind of throws him a cutter. He rolls over it. Pretty good pitch, but almost a bad result. You'd love to get a double play here. Now, obviously, the Jays don't want to cooperate, but one pitch. You've given up more runs. You've thrown more pitches, 20. Normal pitch for Bud around a little bit over 17 pitches an inning, and of course Donaldson's not going to make it easy.
2 ball 1 strike count. Throw goes away. It'll bounce off the side of the wall, and there goes the ground ball double play as Bautista will head down to second base, and an error will be charged on the throw by Bud Norris. Interesting, but not exciting first inning for the Orioles so far.
Now, you want to be quick, but you throw it right into the runner, and there's no way Chris Davis can reach across Bautista.
So now runner in scoring position for Donaldson. Donaldson, who brings a .268 major league average into the season with those years in Oakland. 2 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way to him. A breaking ball that's going to miss up high off speed delivery. 86 miles an hour. And a 3 ball, 1 strike count. Navarro waiting on deck.
It's a kind of lineup, and you're used to face those where you kind of pencil the guys you can maybe get out. This is not one of them. You don't want to be facing them 3-1. I mean, they put tremendous pressure on Norris already here in the first.
Big swing and a miss, and again out ahead of it.
Yeah, he gets away with one that kind of stays up in the middle of the zone. But I'm not sure you want to stay here on a regular basis.
Absolutely not. I think it just kind of fooled him with how good the pitch was. Took a little bit off. A little spin on the ball there. Gets him out in front for the second strike. Now you got to come up with a big payoff pitch.
3-2, 1 down. Runner off second. Scope holding the runner. And that ball plunked down the line and headed to the seats and out of play. Josh Donaldson hanging in. Bautista was already around third base. Bud Norris scheduled to make the start for the numbers Jim talked about that he's had against the ball club. 7th career start. 4-0, 2.36 ERA against the Blue Jays. Plus here at home he was 8-2 with a 2.44 last year. So as Buck Showalter always says, in trying to set the rotation, how does he do against the team he's pitching against, and how does he pitch in that ballpark? 3-2 delivery and a ground ball third and foul, and they are really working. Donaldson fouling him off. Our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
Yeah, we talked about one of our keys was career year. Now this is one of the reasons. I mean, that's the lowest in the American League. It's not Bud Norris like. You can see the guys. I mean, Hernandez, Cobb, supposedly if he's healthy going to be the only #1 guy in the American League East. So he just had one of those years. We'll see if he's able to duplicate or replicate that kind of year again.
3-2 delivery. Donaldson is on with a free pass, and Bud Norris talking to himself as that one was not close, and that will bring out the Orioles pitching coach Dave Wallace on his way out on a trot to the mound.
I talked about trying to settle down the nerves. You know, Bud Norris is going to be amped up a little bit. That first at bat Jose Reyes put on Norris, seeing a lot of pitches and then fighting his way through for that single to lead this game off. I think took a little bit out of Bud. Made a couple mistakes there. Of course, Bautista with a nice piece of hitting. But right now it's just, hey, take a deep breath, regroup the troops, and now you're 1 pitch away from back to that double play ball. Keep the ball down, try to get him to roll one over and let this infield go to work.
There are the numbers we were talking about last season against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and I mean, he got a lot of runs. He pitched well. I mean, it's a great combination. And the other factor, and he's well aware of it, anybody that actually pitches for the Orioles, they have one of the best defenses in baseball, if not the best. So it's a pleasure to pitch behind when you're making your pitches. And
Deanna Navarro looked back to second. Navarro, the backup catcher, of course, for the ball club, with Martin now the starter. Navarro had a 1-for-4 in the Yankee series. Why does he start against Norris? Because he's 5-for-14 with a home run. 1 down, 2 on, and 2 runs in so far. And a big cut. 26 pitches thrown by the Orioles starter, and recording just 1 out so far.
I mean, again, you're looking for 2, but you're looking for an out here. And it's funny, when a guy has good numbers, you know usually why. You either get behind him, you don't make your pitches.
Navarro had one of the best numbers in baseball with runners in scoring position last year. He hit .343, and he had a lot of chances, 134 opportunities with runners in scoring position. So this is where he was at his best against Bud Norris, where he's at his best. 1-1 delivery to him away, 2-1.
Now you're kind of seeing the way Bud pitched in spring training, and I never thought you could really kind of turn it on and off. He said I was working on, and he did one of the games that we pitched. I saw him pitch up in Jupiter, where he didn't pitch very well, but he was working on more change-ups and whatever. But at the end of the day, this is a very representable lineup. You better be on your game.
2-1 delivery on the way. Navarro will take it. It's right there for a strike. Navarro is a switch hitter. Last year, .280 against lefties, .272 against righties. That's about as balanced as you can get.
Yeah, John Gibbons saying, I think that ball might have been a little bit low. But he'll take it. Of course, Navarro said, I'd rather be hitting 3-1 than 2-2. But that's not the case.
Runners off first and second base. 2-2 delivery, lash down the line. That could be a problem. It is a fair ball going all the way to the wall. Bautista will score easily. Donaldson is being waved home. Relay throw will come to the plate. Not in time. 2 runs in and a double for Navarro. And Toronto with a big first inning as they gain 2 more on his first double this season.
Yeah, really missed his spot by about maybe 18 inches. I mean, he's trying to go in. The ball runs away. Look how Caleb Joseph has to reach out over the plate. Usually when you elevate the ball, hitters elevate the ball. And Navarro gets a pitch to hit and doesn't miss it.
Long chase for Pierce as that one rolled all the way into that left field corner. And no chance at the plate. So a couple of doubles, 2 singles, a walk, and a sac fly here in the first inning. Kevin Gausman is already up in the bullpen for the Orioles. Here is Smoke, another switch hitter with power. Justin Smoke starting at first base, and he will take the pitch for a strike. Smoke with a 2 for 5. Lifetime off Norris. Oriole infield back deep against another power hitter in this lineup. As you see, Navarro not being held very close at second base. Not obviously a speedy runner. Swing and a miss fooled him on it.
Yeah, big long swing, powerful from either side of the plate for Justin Smoke.
Yeah, they're hoping for big things from him. You know, he's never really taken off, I think, at the major league level. I think there was a lot of hope and promise. He was a first-round pick. Numbers really stayed true for him when he got to Texas. They moved him on to Seattle. He did end up hitting 20 home runs with Seattle, but then claimed off waivers this offseason by the Blue Jays, and they said, hey, listen, you're a big, strong kid. Let it fly up there. We just want you to try to hit homers and produce some runs for this ball club. They're not going to put a lot of pressure on him. Let him play. And actually, defensively, he's already made a mark over there, so playing pretty well.
Smoke will reach for it. Got way under it. Towering fly ball center. Jones. Adams got it for the out. Smoke retired. Runner will hold Navarro at second base, and that'll be the second out of the inning with the 8th batter of the inning coming up here at Camden Yards. And another one of the young players that we saw last year, Pilar. Kevin Pilar getting the start in left field. He has hit in all 3 of the ball games so far this year, picking up a 4 for 12 against the Yankees.
Yeah, he was a guy that, along with Michael Saunders, who injured his knee in spring training, they were going to play the platoon guys in the outfield. And Pilar playing against lefties, but now an opportunity. I mean, 1 base hit, even though Navarro doesn't run well, and it might be 5-0. Boy, that a huge inning.
Outfield shortens up a bit on him. Pitch will be taken up high. Pilar last year got in 53 games, 116 at bats. He hit .267 for the ball club with a couple of home runs. He had played at the major league level for a few games in 13, and last year a few more. Now this year, here he is. If he plays well, he'll be in that lineup on a regular basis. 1-0 delivery. Pilar to third. Manning, foul territory, guns it and gets it. So that will do it. 8 coming to the plate here in the inning. 4 runs picked up on 4 hits. The Orioles opening day lineup at home when we come back. To you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. It'll be Cabrera, Pearson, Jones, Davis, Young, Machado, Snyder, Scope, and Joseph. Adam Jones, his career numbers against the Toronto starter. Yikes.
Yeah, take a look at our scouting report. 36 years old, workhorse, 30-plus starts for 14 consecutive years, 10 wins, 200 innings pitched, in control, 2 walks per 9 innings. He's won 4 Gold Gloves. You can't run on him. 99 pickups. And the other thing, magical number, going for number 200. There's only been 110 pitchers in the history of baseball that have been able to do that.
He is 199 and 152 on his career. Orioles have touched him up hard of late, in particular. He went 1-2 against the Orioles last year, in his lifetime mark 8-10. Cabrera gets the leadoff spot. Cabrera, switch hitter, 1 for 4 to open up the season with the Orioles. And again, Buck Showalter. Why number 1? He's 3 for 4 against Burley. He's got speed. You got a surface you can run on here with his great speed. And a check swing foul ball and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
That's the type of pitch right there that Burley lives on. If you show that you're going to be reaching out there on that outside corner, he will expand. He will change speeds out there. He'll try to throw the dead fish, get you to roll over, try to entice that weak contact that he's done throughout his whole career.
2-2 chopped. Backhanded. Smoke. Pitcher. Oh! He can run, but he got there in time. Good break by Burley, as initially that looked like a ball that would be played by the first baseman. But he needed help on that. Cabrera's retired.
So, Mr. Bordick, give me a game plan. You know, he cuts the ball. He, other than R.A. Dickey, his teammate who has a knuckleball, he had the lowest velocity of any starting pitcher in baseball. So you kind of know what he's going to do. What is the hitting approach?
Well, he is not going to blow the ball by you. So you have to stay back and you have to be patient. Elevate. Try to get the ball up in the zone. You start fishing. He turns the 2-seam rover. He gets the ground balls when he wants.
Use the whole field?
Absolutely. You got to think to the middle right out of the gate. Don't be afraid to slap the ball to right field. If you try to do too much, he will expose you.
Steve Pearce again in the number 2 spot and will take the pitch for a strike. Steve with that great start, 3 for 11, a couple of home runs and 3 RBIs already for the Orioles. 0-2 delivery. This is a game where the quick pitch could come into play. Burley is the fastest pitcher between pitches of anyone in the league. 1-2 delivery. So, and the batter has to stay in. You can't quick pitch, but Burley sometimes can get real close to it.
Oh, yes.
What, 13 point something seconds between pitches?
And that ball's going to be popped up. Got it in a little bit. Navarro, the catcher, hanging onto the mash, sheds it. Oh, and tried to do a one-hander. That should be an error.
Yeah, pretty routine. Even more routine if Donaldson had come in and helped him.
Yeah, you wonder where he is. He just stopped running. I mean, it's tough. You never know how a ball's going to react in a stadium. There isn't a lot of wind blowing right now, but certainly the third baseman should have been in there. He probably held on to his helmet and mask a little bit too long as well. Free it up and get yourself in a good position.
So the at-bat for Pearce will continue as Navarro unable to get a hold of it. Breaking ball laced out in front of it.
So
Pearce.
I guess it begs the question. Burley drafted in the 38th round, got $150,000 to sign in 1999. So if you're left-handed, you have to be 36 and throw 83.5 miles per hour to pitch in the big leagues. I mean, if anybody else had, you'd say, oh, hey, he throws 83. You know, really doesn't have much of a fastball. Would he be a prospect?
2-2, and he got him. So despite the error and the continued at bat, a strikeout.
Take a look. What, a little backdoor breaking ball?
Yep. Backdoor
started off the plate. All about 2 strikes. Chase it when you're got to protect.
Orioles last year 22-19 against left-handed starters. Burley making his first start of the 15 season. The left-hander will face Adam Jones. Adam crunches Burley overall with a .355 batting average and 1 home run lifetime against the Toronto left-hander. 2 down, nobody on. Burley looking for that quick inning after your ball club's given you the big lead. Pitch will miss a little bit outside, 2-0.
So you're trying to get Adam Jones to fish out there. He knows Adam Jones will expand the plate a little bit, but Not this early in the count. He's looking for his cookie. A nice little pitch to get the strike down.
Yeah, notice he's way over on the third base side of the rubber. Gives him a better angle when he does want to come inside, and then just runs that changeup fastball away.
Got that one way back. Hey, goodbye, home run.
Beautiful swing right there by Adam Jones, and he's trying to pick up what he's been doing over the last 4 straight years. Played in over 150 games, 280 batting average, 25 doubles, 25 home runs, 80 RBIs in 4 straight years. The only other Oriole to ever do that, Ripken and Murray. So Adam Jones, nice way to start opening day here at Camden Yards with that solo shot.
Yeah, that's one of those home runs. If you're Mark Burley, you don't even watch it. First of all, you didn't have time.
No.
Hurt your neck.
Loud noise.
Foul back by Davis.
So works him away on 3 pitches here. Tries to cut it in. Sure, it's on that inner third, but he gets the bat head to it quick. Look at the hips fly open. He knew it at contact. That is a missile.
0-1 delivery. That's going to be hit towards first. Smoke's got it in. Davis may beat him. Burley got him just in time to record the out. So Davis is out of there. Hang on. Buck Showalter's asking maybe for a review. He's told the home plate umpire, Todd Titchener, that he's waiting for Ben Worthen to take a look at it. His video replay official says nope, don't challenge. So the Orioles will get the run. This is the play, and yep, call was right. Home run picked up by Jones. Orioles get one on the board after 1. The Jays have a 4-1 lead. From Baltimore, you've won $500 for being selected. You've won $500 for the Adam Jones home run, and you'll get $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Baseball Bucks Scratch-Offs. Win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. So the Orioles do get on the board for 1 second inning. Number 9 hitter, another one of their youngsters, Devin Travis, and he will take the pitch inside for a ball. Only his 4th year of professional baseball. Came to the Jays for Anthony Gose in the deal last November with the Detroit Tigers. First major league action is this year.
Yeah, home run and a couple of walks in Yankee Stadium opening day. Boy, you look at his minor league numbers. I got a chance to meet him. I kind of live in the area. Born in West Palm, lives in Wellington. 350 his 2nd year on both levels. 298 last year. Stole bases, hit home runs, hit doubles.
1-1 delivery on the way to him. And as we mentioned during the series in Tampa, this Toronto team's looking to win right now. They've got the young players, 6 of them rookies on the roster. John Gibbons employed to play those who have had great springs and have great potential and not wait.
But we were talking to him today, and I said, maybe they're your best players. He said, exactly. Yeah. That's why they're here.
1-2 delivery, a bouncer.
I mean, were you a rookie, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
So was I.
One time.
Gary?
I'm always a rookie.
Yeah.
Got to take a shot sometime.
No,
right?
so the bottom line, you got to start somewhere. And,
Exactly. Yeah.
This kid's got a lot of skills. I think defensively, but everybody says he really played well. And right there you go.
First strikeout for Norris.
Well, we talked about what happened. Nathan Card started for the Rays, gave up 4 in the first, 2 in the second, then really pitched well. So Bud gave up 4 more than he wanted to. And the only thing you can do if you're a starting pitcher is put on the ABS brakes, stop it right there, and he knows the Orioles have a good offense. They got 6 runs a game or more when he pitched against Toronto. Just shut them down if you can and take your chances.
Reyes started it out with a base hit right off the end of the bat to Jonathan Scope. And a couple of quick outs here in the second inning. Well, here is the regular season. You still got time to secure your spot for all the action with the Orioles' full or partial season plans. Members enjoy exclusive ticket savings, baseball's most flexible exchange policy, access to postseason tickets, orange carpet benefits, and more. Call the Orioles, 888-848-BIRD, or you can go online, Orioles.com/tickets. Adam Jones with a home run, put the Orioles on the board in the ball game. His second lifetime home run by the way off Burley. And with 2 down and nobody on, here's Pompey. Pompey with a double, and he scored in the first inning. This is the ball club loaded with offense. 4th in average, 4th in runs last year, second only to the Orioles in home runs. Pitching, they were 9th in ERA, which even surprised them. They thought that would be better. Orioles, of course, the great pitching from their starters and bullpen last season, virtually all the way through. First month was the toughest for Oriole pitchers, and then it really settled in to be steady and very good. 2-0 pitch, 2-1.
Took a little off right there. Good changeup down in the zone. Reyes out with a changeup on the first pitch, so he was working on that change in spring training. A nice job here utilizing it. You saw the grip. Rolls out. Looks like that 94, 95 mile an hour fastball.
Yeah, you get the same spin on it.
Right back to him. How about that? 8 batters come to the plate in the first inning. They get 4 runs on 4 hits. Second inning, 3 batters come to the plate. 4-1. Saw the little girl on there who is the 10th player for the Orioles for this game, representing all of the fans today. And it was Lacey Brower is her name. She came charging out from center field with the players' pregame ceremonies. Delman Young, ground ball to short, played by Reyes. He's retired, one away here in the second inning. I don't know how old she was, probably 7, 8 years old.
I always wonder about are they going to make it all the way from center field? Well, your former skipper, you were talking about 1997. I never thought Davy Johnson had a bad knee. I didn't know if he was going to make it all the way in. But then again, with the team that he had, he managed to get all the way and then into the dugout and go wire to wire.
Here's Manny Machado. Manny looking for his first hit. And he will take the pitch from Burley up high for a ball. Well, the excitement of the home opener for the Orioles. And the big crowd on hand early today. Fouled off. The gates open 3 hours before today's game. Now, for the rest of the season, when you come to the ballpark here at Camden Yards, the gates will open 2 hours prior to first pitch. 2 hours prior to first pitch. The metal detectors are in place here, so it may take a little longer to get in. Keep that in mind when you come to the ballpark. From what I saw today, though, things were handled very swiftly and cleanly, and folks seem to get in without a lot of long lines.
And we have a lot of restrooms here at Camden Yards, too.
Unlike Wrigley,
just in case
they got to bring the coffee can. Backhanded. Donaldson's throw, and there are 2 down. Manny Machado retired. When the Orioles win, everyone wins, and when the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com by entering promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's. 2 down, nobody on. Here is Travis Snyder. 4 for 9, 3 RBIs so far this year. Snyder goes to center. He's got a base hit. Orioles jumping on the first pitches of Burley, which I guess you really want to do, Mike, because he throws strikes.
Well, if it's in the heart of the plate. Now, this pitch right here, I think he made a mistake, and Travis Snyder got a good look at it. But you see him trying to nibble early on. He's trying to get you to expand the zone. So getting ahead is a key, but he'd like to do it on either the inner third or the outer third. That pitch right there, just a little too much plate out over. He's able to slap it back up the middle. If you show you're going to be aggressive on those edges, he will expand. He'll start putting a little bit more movement on that plate. Will become 20 inches instead of the 17.
Well, you like the approach, and I always thought the guys that are either pull hitters, but the guys that go the other way or back up the middle gave me the most trouble because they stay on the pitch just a little bit longer, and that makes a big difference.
Snyder on 5th hit. That's going to be a base hit. Jonathan Scope goes into left field. Pilar up. Stopping at second base is Snyder. So with 2 down, back-to-back singles. Tomorrow, enjoy the season's first night game. The Birds and Jays, 7:05 tomorrow night. The first 20,000, 15 and over, get the 14 AL East champion wall art. Orange canvas wall art, perfect to hang in any room, and a great collector's item. Celebrate the great season last year by picking up your wall art at the game tomorrow. Go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD for tickets. 2 away and 2 on. Caleb Joseph takes the pitch up high. Starting with a 1-4-7 on the season for Caleb. That was a double. Snyder at second, Scope at first. Good speed on the base paths for the Orioles. And the pitch, a floater outside.
Well, you looked at me after they got 4 runs, and we kind of went back to what Wei and Chen. He had a 6-0 lead after 2. He didn't get him 5 innings in. And I always thought sometimes you want to get a lot of runs, you just want to do it progressively. Puts pressure on you when you get them that early.
Good eye. 3-0 count with the leadoff man at Cabrera waiting on deck. Early falls behind. Doesn't do that very often. 3-0 in any event.
Well, is he hitting here 3-0?
You'd be the manager. Everybody out there manage. Green light. Nope. Wasn't even close. Bases loaded.
Good bat right there by Caleb Joseph. Not want to be too aggressive. I think this type of opening day, the veteran pitcher Burley says, well, there's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of adrenaline going on. I'm going to keep it on the outside corner. Some of these younger players, they might expand the zone, help me out a little bit. Caleb Joseph didn't even budge. Yep. Those were 4 great takes right there. He wanted to see the ball, let it travel deep. Nice base on ball. Turn the lineup over and try to get the top of the order going here.
Snyder, Scope, and Joseph are the base runners. Cabrera grounded out his first time up. 2 down. Takes the pitch, and it is a ball. For Cabrera, the switch hitter, he hit .253 against left-handers and .226 against right-handers last year.
Well, he hit that long home run in the game that you 2 guys did. I mean, deep to left center field. I guess the the object of doing that is to hit it without trying to hit it.
Exactly. And really, that's what his game is. He knows he's not a power hitter. He's a contact hitter. He has a short swing, and if you try to be aggressive in there, I don't know if it's going to be as much on Burley because he doesn't have the same velocity. But if somebody's throwing 93, 94, and he just reacts in there, he's just going to drop the head on it, and you're going to see some home runs off the bat of Cabrera. But you know, right now it's a battle. You try to get the ball elevated. He's going to try to use the whole field. Trying to get something going.
1-1. That's going to be a problem. And no, it's caught. It stayed up. Bautista had moved over towards the line and puts it away. No runs, couple of hits, no errors. Orioles leave them loaded. A culinary adventure as well. From fresh local seafood to the eclectic array of world-class cuisine, Savor Sarasota Restaurant Week, June 1 through 14, celebrating its 10th anniversary. Visit savorsarasota.com. Good Jim Palmer and Mike Bordick. I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us here. Baltimore home as the Orioles 50-31 here at Camden Yards last year, part of that great division championship season. Bud Norris, tough start, 4 runs, 4 hits first inning against him. Orioles have gotten one back. And saving grace, as we said, it's only the 3rd inning. Long way to go. Bautista will be leading it off. Encarnacion and then Donaldson, base hit for Bautista and an RBI. His first time up. Only a 184 average for him in this ballpark lifetime with the 9 home runs here. And he was going for 10 on that one.
Gearing up for the fastball. Nice job. Nice call by Caleb Joseph right there. A little slider. Swing off it. Get ahead. Bud really needs to do that. He needs to get ahead and then go to work, working the edges.
One delivery and that one lashed. That'll be a base hit if it stays fair. It will. Another one into the corner, 333. Pierce going over to get it. So Bautista, who had come in without a base hit, 0 for 12, is 2 for 2. And a leadoff double here in the 3rd inning. Take a look at our Jeep Inside the numbers, Mr. Palmer.
Well, there, and I mean, this is an amazing number because this is a tough place to pitch, even when you have great defense. But historically, 31-21 on the road, Houston and here at home, and then when you look at his road record, 22-36 lifetime with an ERA of over 5.46. So it's just something through the course of his career. Have no idea why. Because Houston's not an easy place to pitch, but at home he feels very comfortable.
Encarnacion picked up an RBI sac fly his first time up. They went 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position in the first inning of this ball game. On the year now, they are 7 for 22 in these situations. Got a runner at second base, Bautista, who's now 3 for 10 against Norris. Good lead at second. Takes a big cut, fouls it away. This is what Mike was talking about, I think, earlier about hitters. No matter what the count, you get the big cut. That's what Encarnacion did.
Oh, a lot of the big power hitters for sure.
Well, a lot of times you almost they get a leadoff double. You figure, well, he's going to take a shot to right. Now Encarnacion can take a shot to right and he'll go right out of here. But that's probably not going to be his intention. And that's one of the only reasons I can think it's good to pitch against him. Because he's just tough. Great plate coverage. Doesn't strike out a lot. And again, the amazing thing is, he hit 16 home runs in May, 2 in April, 16 there. And talking about the Blue Jays, they led the American League for 42 days till he got hurt. And then they went south in a hurry.
1-2 count, runner off second. Scope holds him a little closer. That'll be around the back foot. Encarnacion got his second home run of the season last night in the Toronto 6-3 win against the Yankees. Clearly, he's one of those you would look at and say a home run championship this season.
Well, he may have hit last year, but he was on his way to probably 45 to 50 before he had the quad. Hurt it up. In fact, Donaldson was playing. Now his third baseman.
Ground ball to the middle. Runner moving up. Cabrera over to Davis. And there's one away. Runner at third base. Well, welcome back to Birdland, O's fans, and join the conversation on Twitter by tagging your tweets using hashtag #WelcomeBackBirds to win Orioles gear from Masson. Be sure to follow at Masson Orioles all season long for more ways to win. Being social with Masson has its rewards. Donaldson drew a walk and scored in the first inning. The only walk surrendered by Norris did come around to score. The infield's going to move in with a runner at third. And one down. Try and hold this runner at third on a ground ball. There's another big cutter.
Well, the Orioles know about Donaldson. That walk-off home run in Oakland right after the All-Star break off of Zap Britton. One of the few blown saves he had last year. Launched it.
He's a .299 hitter with runners in scoring position from last year. Real good number. Infield in even further. Cabrera's shortstop's on the cut of the grass. He's in further than anybody else.
Yeah, a little surprising right there. Everybody else a little bit deeper.
Well, don't they have different levels? Bud has
absolutely.
Yeah.
But you would think you'd be able to give yourself a little bit more room for some range. Cabrera's played shortstop before. He knows what to do out there. He has the quick release.
Good pitch, knee outside corner, 0-2 count.
Of course, not quite the same arm as Machado or Scope or even Davis. Those are some of the stronger arms in the game, so maybe he's trying to help himself out there.
And Manny can play a little deeper because of the arm strength.
Absolutely.
0-2 count with one down. Machado back to normal, almost third base position. Got a zigzag line if you connect the players in the infield right now for the Orioles. Donaldson, the 0-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be in the air to right field. That'll get a run in. Snyder. Bautista tagging. Here comes the throw to the plate off the mark, and he's in. So a sac fly for Donaldson to push the run across, and it's a 5-1 Toronto lead.
Yeah, an 0-2 pitch, got an awfully good pitch to do something with. Certainly, I don't think he wanted to do that, but he did. Too much at the plate. Well, you'd like to either go way in, maybe by going way in, you set up the cutter or even the changeup down and away, but it's almost like there wasn't a whole lot of thought behind it because Jake Josephs didn't go way in, didn't go way away, and they take advantage of it.
First RBI for Donaldson on the year. So the double by Bautista leading it off comes around to score. Here's Navarro's. Orioles will put the defensive shift on against him in the infield. Jonathan Scope way out there. Cabrera, the shortstop, moved over to the second base side. Navarro 2 RBI double in the first inning. Big hit. Puts that one to center field. Jones on his horse, going back. He's there, and he's gone. One run on one hit. Nobody left on. Toronto up 5-1. Armaz to do up. It'll be Pierce, Jones, and Davis when we come back. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com and by your local Mercedes dealership. Opening day for the Orioles here at home. 4-run, 4-hit first inning. RBIs by Bautista, Encarnacion, and 2 for Navarro for the Jays. The Orioles, Adam Jones, a 2-out home run in the first inning. Then that RBI in the third on the sac fly by Donaldson. 5-1. Bottom half of the third. Here is Steve Pearce, strikeout victim, his first time up. And the pitch away for a ball. Steve now 2 for 6 lifetime off the left-hander, 36-year-old Mark Burley. Will miss up high with that, trying to get him in chase. 2-0.
You see Burley trying to offset the rhythm and timing of Steve Pearce on the first pitch, the 69-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Almost like an ephus type pitch. It really challenges you as a hitter to really stay on that backside, not let any weight drift forward, because Burley will recognize that.
And Pearce recognized that, and it'll miss the warning track by just that much. Hauled in by Pilar. Pearce is retired.
Yeah, you know, he can get balls up in the zone, and a lot of other pitchers throw it because of the change of speeds. You don't always center it, and maybe get it a little bit on the end of the bat. Not a lot of other pitchers have that luxury. I mean, that was just kind of a so-so change-up, and you hit it well, but just not well enough.
Jones with a home run, his first time up. Adams' first of the year. 1 down, nobody on. Burley delivers to him. Works the outside corner. It is in there for a strike. Orioles working on 5 consecutive home opening wins. 0-1 delivery. That's going to miss away. Jones not biting on it. 1-1.
Good take right there. Now his first at bat, he threw 3 pitches just off the outside corner and then tried to get the cutter in.
That one lined, one hopper. That's going to get by Pilar, go all the way behind him. Jones to second. Pilar will get it back in. It'll be a double. 2 for 2 for Jones.
Yeah, one of those impulsive plays. Think of going to catch it, turn a single into a double. Is exactly what the Orioles need when you're down by 4.
You see the breaking ball coming in, and Adam getting behind that baseball, but you see the great extension as he kept that bat head through the zone a long time, and Pilar just over boogieing out there. Opening day anxiety as he goes and tries to make the big play, bounces over, and Jones out there in scoring position with the 1 out, and they're just looking to chip away and knock off some of this 4-run deficit.
Chris Davis, after his first hit of the season, the shift will be put on. Davis grounded out his first time up on a 3-1. Davis into that shift, ate him up. Travis had to go back to get it. It'll be a single to throw in by the second baseman, and Davis is on with a single, and the Orioles cover the corners with 1 out.
3 balls hit hard into this inning.
Smoked right there. Davis whistling this one into the shift again, and I think new second baseman Devin Travis saying, well, I should play a little bit deeper if I'm going to be on this shift, because that line drive ate him up.
So a chance for the Orioles to have a big inning, only 1 down. Young coming up. Delman grounded out his first time up. You talk about numbers against Burley. This is a .420 lifetime hitter against Mark Burley with 4 home runs. Ground ball towards third base. They'll go for 2. There's one relay and a good one. Donaldson to Travis to smoke, and that's the one Burley wanted. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. It is a 5-1 Toronto lead. pregame set against the Jays. Ubaldo Jimenez takes the mound against Aaron Sanchez. Our coverage on MASN will begin at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Southwest, followed by our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
So Aaron Sanchez, boy, can he throw the ball. We saw him last year. Went through 55 straight fastballs, so he trusts that. Jimenez changed his windup, pitched well last year, had a couple of bad starts early on, and then really settled down, and he won the right to be one of the 5 starters for the Orioles, at least to this point.
We want to welcome all of you watching on WJZ. Great to have you back with us this year, and welcome to the opener here. There is Ubaldo Jimenez, ready to go. Norris will work to the bottom third of the order as we go to the 4th inning. 5-5-1 for the Jays. 1-5-1 for the Orioles. Shift will be put on against Smoke, who flied out to center field his first time up. He is a switch hitter. 222 lefties, 186 off righties last year. Turns on that one foul.
You know, Bud Norris, great confidence in his fastball when he's right. Today, here in the early going anyway, not quite the command that he'd hoped for. I mean, typically, Bud loves to work inside. He is not afraid to throw the ball in and get players off the plate to try to open up that outer edge. Right now, some inconsistencies with that fastball. We've seen Caleb Joseph, whether setting up in or away, reaching across the plate. Flag that fastball. Well,
we talked about opening day, and sometimes you try to do a little bit more than you need to do. And
that's into the shift, and that's going to be a base hit. So Smoke, a seeing eye single through all of the defense, and the leadoff man on here in the 4th inning. On Sunday, bring your family to Oriole Park. Kids opening day, the Birds and Jays. It's 1:35. First 7,500 kids 14 and under get the Orioles braided necklaces. Plus, all kids can run the bases after the game. And some lucky kids are going to get a chance to go out with a lineup card, go out with players for the national anthem. So don't miss out. It's kids opening day, Sunday, 888-848-BIRD at Orioles.com. Kevin Pillar grounded out his first time up. That'll be hit number 6 for the Jays against Bud Norris. Norris last year against the Jays with that 4-0 record did not give up more than 3 runs in any of the starts he made against Toronto, and he did not get up more than 7 hits in those starts last season. 5 starts against Toronto and a 4-0 record. And in fact, the Orioles won all 5 games that he started against the Jays. 0-2.
Well, you know Bud's going to be a bulldog here in this ball game. He's going to compete and give you everything he has. Obviously, a real tough first inning. He's settled down. He's thrown the ball better here the last few. He's just kind of staying in control, keeping those emotions in check. And right now, trying to eat up some innings.
Lash down the line, and it is a fair ball. Right off the chalk and into the corner, chased down by that door. Pillar will pull into second with a double. They'll hold the runner Smoke at third. And the runners at second and third now to lead off this 4th inning.
Yeah, the other thing that he did so well when he started pitching well was be able to stay down in the zone. You can see from right here, this is not down in the zone. It's up. Pillar, good fastball hitter. A little luck factor right here. He hits it just inside the line. And boy, that's one of those ones when it's hit, you're hoping it's going to be foul, and then you see there is no chance that it's going foul.
Bullpen, Brad Brock. Kevin Gausman had been up earlier as the long man in the ball game. Brock now closer to the middle. And the number 9 hitter, Devin Travis, up. Called out on strikes his first time up. He's had a home run, 3 RBIs this season. Infield in. Fouled into the screen. Jay's just able to tee up on a lot of these at-bats against Bud so far in the ball.
Well, I think the other thing is, and I think last year he used more changeups, but again, the command was in and out, especially down and away. Otherwise, cutter's about 87. Fastball today's 93, so everything is right in that 87 to 93 zone. And they're timing it, and then when you don't make your pitches, you get hit hard. And let's get
that one got him.
And there's a backup cutter.
And you can see Bud Norris is out there going, wait a minute, he moved into it, and that'll be to no avail with Todd Titchener, the home plate umpire.
I think it's one of those breaking balls you know well, Mike, where you think it's going to break and it doesn't.
Now take a look. He's riding up and in. Actually, might have been a fastball there. Catches him on that top hand. It's like on the meaty part.
He got both of them.
That'll be it for Norris. Showalter on his way out, and a disappointing home start for the Orioles starter. He will work just 3+ innings here in this ball game. And it's time for a little relief for your car, too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube, drive in today.
Where he doesn't particularly pitch well, and let's give credit to Toronto. They had some awfully good at bats, got pitches to hit, and certainly took advantage of them. And really, if you look at the strikes to balls, not that bad, 2-1, but he just couldn't locate. So Brad Brock will come on. A couple of appearances down in Tampa last year, 7-1 for the Orioles. I mean, one of the reasons they had such a good bullpen. Of course, it's very early. Maybe got some balls up. Gave up that extra run in the 2-0 loss the other night. Other than that, still a very, very important part of this bullpen.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Manny Machado will play in at third. The rest of the infield will play a double play depth. Reyes a single and a ground ball out. He has scored a run. So here's a big at bat, and what a situation for Brock to come into. Last year, 3 games against the Jays, no runs, 3 hits, 3 2/3 innings against them last season. Reyes reaching for that one and pulls it around in a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Yeah, see, if you're a starting pitcher, you can create your own messes. But if you're, and this is why I'm just constantly amazed that guys can come out of the bullpen, especially the setup guys, middle guys, come in, inherit bases loaded, and be able to throw strikes.
Missed
away with that one, yeah.
Right straight back.
Yeah. And that says something when you see that, because part of, at least I think, being very successful, you got to be able to read the bat. Where was the bat head? Hitters are trying to get the bat head to the ball. If you see the bat head there, you better either change speeds or go to a different location.
Bases loaded, nobody out. 1-ball 2-strike count. Reyes reaches and he gets him. Big strikeout.
That's pretty nasty right there. You know, Brad Brock has swing and miss stuff. He really does. He has the crossbody delivery here. Beautiful changeup, just fading down and away. Very tough to pick up because he is coming across the body. And see that late fade. I mean, that's a foot off the plate. Getting a very good hitter to swing and miss.
Dangerous at bat right here. Pompey has got some power, extra base power. Batting second in the lineup. He is double grounded out. And that one's going to be into right field. That'll be a base hit. Smoke will score. Pilar will score. Travis heading to third. Relay cut off, and it's a double and 2 RBIs for Pompey. So he's had 2 doubles in the ball game. Drives in a couple, and it's a 7-1 game.
Well, I could tell you, the scouting report said let's not throw him fastballs belt high, and again, You can see Joseph's gloves on the corner. He pulls it across the plate. 90, not capable of what his velocity usually is. Very hittable pitch, and a rookie takes advantage of it. Because you know the scouting report says, hey, mess with him. Changeups, cutters, sliders, whatever. He's a good fastball hitter. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the big leagues.
Absolutely. You got to hit your spot with that fastball.
Second and third now, and is Bautista. The infield is in. And he loops it, and because the infield in, it's a base hit. Travis will score. Runner stopping at third is Pompey. So Bautista's 3 for 3, his second RBI of the ball game, and it's 8-1 Toronto.
A couple hitters for the Blue Jays came in cold first 3 games. Bautista, one of them. And here, heating up, finding a hole over the drawn-in infield, right off the end of the bat. See Jonathan Schoop, big guy, but just out of the reach. Good effort there by Schoop. Good piece of hitting by
Bautista. The scoreboard dictates how you have to play because of what was a 5-run deficit, and now it becomes a 7-run deficit. You have to play in. That's why you try to pitch a little bit better.
And Encarnacion goes after the first one. It fouls it off. So the line on Norris is complete. 8 runs, 7 hits, a walk and a strikeout over 3+ innings for Bud Norris. Now the responsibility of the base runners, Pompey and Bautista, falls to Brad Brock. First and third, 1 out. Infield now, of course, will back up a double play depth. Encarnacion, RBI sac fly, grounded out, pulls off the pitch, doesn't catch up to it. 0-2.
Yeah, how many times over last year did we see the Orioles do exactly what the Jays are doing, where you rough up the other starter? Now all of a sudden they have to play in. It makes it harder to defend. You add on the runs.
They've got 8 runs on 9 hits so far, and chases that one outside. Got him to go. Brad Brock gets the strikeout.
Yeah, this is again the change. It's a power change up, great arm speed, great movement, and with 2 strikes, great location.
That'll bring up Donaldson. So for the second time in 4 innings, the Jays have sent 8 batters to the plate. They did that in the first inning. Donaldson, a walk and a run scored, RBI on a sacrifice fly. There have been contributions in this lineup from everybody, with either a hit, an RBI, and or a run scored from top to bottom. Everybody's had a piece of the action so far.
Just think if they had gotten their rest last night. They got in, what, about 2:30?
Yeah. Playing in New York.
Right.
It's a dangerous lineup for sure. I think the heart of this lineup, one of the best in the game. But what they're going to really count on are some of the younger players. I mean, as they get exposed a little bit.
Donaldson, center. Jones can't get it. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Pompey has scored. Bautista is coming around. He'll score. It's another double. Donaldson now with 3 RBIs in the ball game and a 10-1 Toronto lead.
Well, you get an idea. You touched on it, Mike, about the wins above replacement. Only Mike Trout better, but he gets another great pitch to hit, and I think Adam Jones thinks he has a track, but he hits it so hard that again he comes over, thinks he can cut off the angle. The ball just sails on him because it's propelled out there. Backspinned it for a couple of RBIs.
Boy, what an offensive attack. 10 runs on 10 hits so far for these Blue Jays. Brock responsible for those 2. Now the shift being put on. Navarro, 9th man to hit in the inning. Runner at second. Navarro will take it for his strike. He's had 2 RBIs with a double, and he has flied out to center field. And a shocker so far here in the 4th inning for this full house here at Camden Yards. Down to third base. Manny Machado's got it, plenty of time, and will record the out. But a big inning as the Jays bat around, score 5, and take a 10-1 lead. 50 years in the Baltimore organization, on the field, off the field, here in the booth throughout the first pitch. $50,000 presented to our autism for our Jim stepson who suffers through that. Rick Dempsey came out, and his battery mate took the first pitch, and it was a strike. Imagine 50 years, Mike Bordick.
Can you guys say it a lot more?
50 years!
I can't imagine it, but I am impressed how you've cleaned up your delivery a little bit. You don't have the highlight
Always
kick
the
anymore.
analyst. Well,
it's pretty nice. And that
you know, I
nice,
told Joe
straight.
Namath down in Jupiter, Florida, whatever you do, don't go on the dirt. I did. Joe did, and it didn't end well.
And you did good.
But I really just, I want to take a moment. I mean, I can't, I'm overwhelmed. Well, we have to take a moment here.
Take a moment.
Yeah.
Manny Machado got a hold of that one deep center field. It'll be hauled in. Nice play by Pompey.
But I can't thank the Angelos family and all. I mean, the welcome was great. I got to throw it out to Rick Dempsey. I got a text from my wife Susan, said that she's in tears. I mean, just to recognize, you know, autism. You mentioned on the field, Autism Speaks. Major League Baseball is involved tomorrow night. Actually, they're doing it here. So you know, it affects about 54%, I think, of all boys. So, you know, we're very lucky because Spencer's a wonderful kid, and I just want to thank the Angelos. It's going to make a difference in people's lives, and the Orioles do that, you know, just by playing baseball and all the things they do in the community, and to be recognized and get the welcome and all that. It was very, 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 very thoughtful.
Well, certainly you are deserving of that, and as far as autism is concerned, you've worked with that because of Spencer. Fouled away. Autism Speaks will be recognized here tomorrow night at the ballpark. And while his nickname is Cakes, because of the pancakes he used to eat before he started, today we're just going to say let him eat cake. Yeah, because the cake you got was beautiful.
It is. I got the baseball here.
You got the baseball. I got some of the webbing of the glove actually involved in mine. Travis Snyder, 2-ball, 1-strike delivery to him, and that one's going to be foul back. Do you believe it's 50 years, though? Can you believe that?
No, and I mean, how blessed, because, you know, it's funny, we always talk about our influence of our parents. My parents said, you know, we just think the Orioles are the right organization. The Orioles kind of didn't tell me the truth. They said they didn't have any young pitching. They did, but I became one of them. And, you know, you get to the Hall of Fame, everybody thinks, and I kind of talked about this many times, you got there because of what you did. It's what we did. And today, really being recognized is really for all my teammates and, you know, the fans. You know, it's just, I mean, it's great to be here. It's great to be involved. And the other thing is, you know, I had a chance to play on so many great teams, and such a, you know, winning percentage of 20 years that I was part of the Orioles was the best in baseball. And we've gotten back to that because of Buck Showalter and the fans and all the players. So, you know, you always win because of everybody, the people in the front office and all that. And I had such a luxury of playing with some of the greatest players that ever played as my teammates.
And they say the same thing.
Well, but
about
you know,
because it's true.
Well, I don't know about that. It's just that you play as a team and you win as a team, and you lose as a team, and it's been very special. I think I could have signed with Houston, maybe other ball clubs, but to be here since 50 years, and you know. Jerry Vale sang the national anthem, forgot a couple of the words, and they booed the mayor McKeldin. I go, why are they booing the mayor? They voted for him. They go, you don't know politics in Baltimore. So it's been a long run. Maybe some things haven't changed.
We still don't know anything about politics in Baltimore or anywhere else for that matter. Mike, you've seen it through the eyes not only of the Orioles organization but elsewhere too, looking back on what that staff that Jim was part of in baseball.
Pretty amazing. You know, Jim, all the guys on his team, the teammates that he shared so many great experiences with, like you said, they talk the same, they say the same thing. They're all humble. They appreciate their teammates, what they meant to them, and to this day, they haven't changed one bit. They have the same personalities. They love to talk about the game. They love the fact that they did special things here in Baltimore, and it makes everybody feel good.
Yep. I'm just happy to be here and be part of it. It's a thrill.
All of us.
Because my best recollection with Jim goes back to an earthquake. Because we were in San Francisco doing the game on ABC, the World Series '89, when the earthquake struck. Jim was up in the booth with Al Michaels. I was down on the field with Willie Mays and Joe Morgan. That's when the earthquake hit, and that's when I knew Jim Palmer had a lot of power. That's going to do it here in the inning. A delight to have you join us. We'll be back. More baseball coming up. The Jays have a 10-1 lead. There are the Battery Mates pregame ceremonies today. Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for 80 years. And by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Enter promo code TRIPLEPLAY for free entry. Camden Yards is the site. The Orioles opening up at home, and the Jays opening up for their offense. A 10-1 lead in the ball game. There's your line as we go to the top of the fifth inning. Brad Brock will stay out. Smoke, bottom third of the order. He started that fourth inning out with a single, and they batted around that inning. And he will take that pitch for a strike. One of the things Dave Wallace, pitching coach Buck Showalter, have to consider now is just what do you do with the pitching here in this game, since it's a 10-1 and you're in the fifth inning.
Well, you'll get some guys some work, and you had the off day yesterday, so everybody's pretty well rested. You can decide, okay, who needs an inning, even though it seemed like on Wednesday night in Tampa, a lot of guys got to pitch. I mean, that was what Buck was saying, was that the hardest thing the first week with off days, and then there was a chance of rain today. I suppose there still is, but weather's a lot better, I think, than anticipated, is making sure you come out of spring training, everybody's, getting their innings, that they're able to do that as you get into the second week of the season. I'm not sure you want to do it when you're down 10-1.
No. No. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery, shift on against him. Brock's delivery is going to miss, and the count will go to 2-2. 4 runs first inning, 4 hits for the Jays. They started it out 5-run, 5-hit fourth inning, and then 1 added in the third. 2-2 delivery to him, and a swing and a miss gets the strikeout. Brock's third.
That's pretty nice. That's that changeup you talked about, Mike. And bottom drops out. And why are they so hard to read? Because because of the arm speed?
Exactly. Well, you said it. That arm speed is tremendous. Brad Brock really, he sells it. It looks like it's going to be a fastball, and you have to gear up. And the fact that he throws across his body, you don't really pick it up right away. And good movement on that pitch as well. It's been his best pitch here this afternoon.
Here's Pilar. Kevin Pilar, 1 down, nobody on. And he will take the pitch up high for a ball. He has doubled, scored, grounded out. He's now hit successfully in all 4 of the games the Jays have played. 26-year-old out of California, Woodland Hills. 1-0 delivery to him, and a ground ball to third. Manny Machado. 2 down. When you visit Oriole Park this season, you'll find a few changes in the entry process. In accordance with MLB policy, all of the ballpark gates have metal detectors. Fans will be asked to remove their keys and mobile phones from their pockets prior to screening. Wallets, IDs, loose change won't need to be removed. And the gates will be open 2 hours prior to first pitch to accommodate maybe a little slightly longer entry. If you want more info, go to Orioles.com/guide. Pitch will be taken up and in. Devin Travis has been called out on strikes. He get hit by a pitch in the 4th inning and would come around to score. He was the last batter faced by Bud Norris. That'll be fouled back over the screen, 1-1.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact they have 6 rookies, but Ryan Goins, we saw him in spring training, saw him last year, plus defender. I mean, he can play shortstop and whatever, but when you hit 188, you open the door for a trade, a young player to come in and possibly take your job. And he had a great spring, talking about Travis. Well, you look at his numbers though in the minor leagues, they're just. I was talking about it. I said, I don't know if you won't be playing the Dodgers, but check out Howie Kendrick's minor league numbers with the Angels. 380, 360. This kid hit an A-ball 350 and 355.
Swing and a miss. Brock coming across the body with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the question is, can he do it here?
Yeah.
And can he turn the double play at second base?
He only played as high as Double-A before getting called to the big leagues. So that'll be a test for him. I think they trust their player development, saying that he's ready.
Well, they got to also trust their scouts because Anthony Gaz, he was traded for him. And again, you figure, okay, maybe we have a hole in our organization at second base, and we'll go out and get this kid and give him a chance. And that's what he took advantage of it.
Travis, Florida State University player, foul back that one again. 323 career minor leagues, which is only 3 seasons, under 1,000 at bats total in the minors. He was a 13th round pick by the Detroit Tigers. Brock, with 2 down, nobody on. Travis with a 2-ball, 2-strike count, and he'll ground that one up the middle off the back of the mound. The base hit. So a 2-out single will turn the order over here in the 5th inning. That's going to be the 11th hit of the ball game for the Jays.
Yeah, little protect. Slider. You see Brad Brock slam the glove. Didn't quite get it where he wanted. But you're getting an idea that if you're not on the top of your game, I always thought this when I would get battered around, it's a pretty good wake-up call, because you realize, number one, these guys can hit. Number two, you're going to have to be a little bit better. I mean, it's only one game.
Reyes will get a base hit if it stays fair, and it does. Little blooper down the line. Travis on his way to third base. Snyder over to get it. It'll be another double, and Reyes is on. That's a 2-for-4 ball game for the leadoff batter, and with 2 down, 2 in scoring position.
Yeah, now this is not a bad pitch, except able to get a pretty good part of the bat.
Yeah, just that it's elevated.
Yeah.
Well, Pompey's already had a big day. He's set up here to add to it. He's had 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. 2 for 3 in the ball game, batting 2 in the order. As Mike mentioned, he was one of those with the 0 for coming in. He was 0 for 8 in the Yankee series, and he'll take the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, this is a tough situation here for the Orioles. Still early in the ball game. You know, somebody's going to have to bite the bullet, and it seems like it's going to be Brad Brock trying to find a way to eat up some innings and at least get to the back end of this ball game, because they can really throw a wrench in things if it starts getting beat around a little.
He gets a big out right there, so no runs on a couple of hits. 2 are left in scoring position. 10-1 Jays. All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities.
Well, who's hot? We're looking at them. Toronto Blue Jays, 10 runs on 12 hits and 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position. So certainly taking advantage of those opportunities. Orioles offense not really hot right now. 1 run on the 5 hits. Burley keeping this offense in check, and just 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They're going to try to increase those chances. Hey, listen, now we've seen this team score a lot of runs, so they're going to have to start producing some, get some guys on base, and hope for a couple long balls here as they finish out this game.
Started the season scoring half their runs against Tampa Bay with the long ball. Ended up, of course, being shut out 2 days ago by the Rays. That one lifted in the air by Joseph. Speaking of long balls, way back and comes off the wall. Caleb's on his way to second base, just missing a home run. He gets a leadoff double there in the 5th inning.
Well, it doesn't mean you can't get to their bullpen. You're going to have to get a long leash for Mark Burley, but it is early in the year, going for win number 200. But again, you go back to the 3rd inning. As you mentioned, Gary, Delman Young wore him out, but he got the double play, and then they came up with a big inning. But a lot of hittable pitches today, but again, it's a little easier to pitch when they give you an early lead, and now you're up by 9. You can get away, and again, because of who you are, you're going to, again, that leash is going to be longer. John Gibbons is not going to bullpen. Every opportunity to win this game and maybe even pitch a couple more innings.
Cabrera, leadoff batter, 0 for 2 in the game. He's grounded out and flied out. Burley's had a walk and a strikeout in the game. Joseph, the leadoff man, on at second base. First leadoff batter the Orioles have had on in the ball game. And Burley will fall behind here 2-0. So Caleb, his second hit of the season. He's now 2 for 8 to start the year out for the O's behind the plate. 2-0 count. Cabrera will look at that one, and it'll be up high. Pierce waiting on deck in a 3-0 count. 46 walks in 202 innings last year for Mark Burley, as he went over that 200 inning mark yet one more time. 15th major league season last year, and he has been over the 200 innings 14 consecutive years.
It's amazing to me.
No DL. Never.
No DL. That's
Never.
what's amazing. I mean,
4 Gold Gloves. They said he really. I was reading some quotes, which I used to always talk to Don Cooper, who was his pitching coach for years, and he said the reason he's able to do what he does is that he just, he's a really good athlete. The 4 Gold Gloves. He can pick you off. He can repeat his windup. Doesn't really overthrow pitches. Used to throw a lot harder than he does now.
3-2 is going to be a bloop shot. Dying Quail to right to stay up, though. Bautista there to handle it. And Cabrera's retired. 1 away, 1 on. Let's take a look at our PNC minor league report. And for all of the Orioles minor league teams, send our best wishes as they are all underway.
Yeah, you look at Tim Berry, and he pitched in one of the games we did this year. You see him all the time in spring training. I've liked him since I've seen him. This year he hit 95. Doesn't mean that he doesn't and shouldn't work more on his command. But I think ultimately has a chance, if he can stay healthy, to be a pretty good starter at the major league level.
He's got good stuff, and certainly on that list of prospects, saw a lot of young arms in spring training this year. And he's certainly one that stood out with a good velocity on his fastball. Still working on his off-speed pitches.
Pierce goes to short. Runner stays at second. Reyes records the out. 0 for 3 for Steve in the ball game. 2 down. Our Drive the Game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at LexusofTowson.com.
Adam Jones getting on the cutter inside. Boy, Bathead got to it quick. And he ignited the fans here with the long home run.
Game in the first inning. It's the only run the Orioles have. The Orioles have left 4. So have the Jays. 2 down. Runner at second base. Leadoff double. Joseph still there. Jones double home run. 3 hits now in 13 at bats with 3 RBIs on the year. Jason Garcia looks like he'll be coming into the ball game for Brad Brock. 1-0 delivery. Off speed by Burley. He's going to be in there. The home run by Jones, his second lifetime home run, and he's pushed his career average against Burley up near 365.
Well, how about the start he had last year? 10-1, won 10 of his first 11 appearances.
Away on that one. 69 pitches thrown so far. Gets through this inning, becomes the pitcher of record for the Jays. Joseph, the leadoff second. Can't catch up to that one. Fooled him on the arm speed. 2-2.
83 miles an hour, just kind of working away, and then he'll try to surprise and get one in there underneath the hands. You see the pitch track working everything away right now. They did it in his first at bat, but then tried to sneak the cutter in. Adam got on him. We'll see if he stays away or has to move his feet.
2-2 delivery. That's going to be in the gap. Another base hit. And it will be cut off. Pilar. Throw will come into second base. Jones trying to get there. He is out. What a throw. There will be a run scored, crediting with a single and an RBI as Joseph came in to score before the putout. But look at the throw. Travis turns, puts it down. Will they challenge? Buck Showalter's up on the front step. We'll wait and see. Replay looks as though they had him. And Buck Showalter says, nope, we're not going to challenge this. So the Orioles pick up a run on a couple of hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. The inning ends, though, with Pilar and Travis putting the tag on. From Harbor to Grace, and look at the run. That's how the players were introduced, and that's how she was introduced. After all of the Orioles were out, and down the line she went. Just 6 years old. Ellie Miller, the Orioles' 10th player. And in honor of Rex Barney, thank you. Bautista.
Yeah, Jason Garcia, Rule 5 player. Major League debut on Wednesday night for an inning. This will be a nice little test here.
Well, I think anytime he's going to be pitching in these games, it's going to be a test.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the lineup with 3, 4, or 5 on this ball club.
Bautista's already had a 3-hit day. He scored 3 runs and he's driven in 2. He's had a couple of singles, a double. RBIs in the first and fourth. Came into the game 0 for 12. And has taken care of that in a hurry. 6th inning, 10-2. Jays on top, and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, a lot of late life there.
This is the radar gun guy where everybody kind of sneaks a peek, see what he's throwing at. Not that that's all he's got, but boy, he's got a power arm. 2-1 delivery on the way, and Bautista will watch that one a little bit up and probably outside.
Yeah, they keep saying 98, but most of the pitches that I've seen 93-ish. Has a slider to go with it.
Yeah, really the slider's what stood out for me. He's able to locate it well. He typically keeps it down in the zone. Some pretty good depth.
So right there, though, that's what happens. Not only against Jose Bautista, who on a normal year is going to hit anywhere from 35 to a high of 54 home runs if he stays healthy. 3-1, they're going to air it out. Now make a good pitch here.
22-year-old delivers to him. Bautista will take it outside. And he will take the walks. And the leadoff man on again. Only the second walk surrendered by 3 Oriole pitchers. Mile One Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit us in store or online at mile1.com. Take a look at the road ahead for the O's.
A couple more games against the Blue Jays coming in this weekend. Tomorrow the night game, then a 1:30 afternoon Sunday start. And it's the Yankees coming in for 3.
Pitch will be taken down low. 4 and 6 innings. The leadoff man has been on. That's a big help in creating offense. Encarnacion, RBI, sac fly, struck out, grounded out, runner at first base, pitches in there for a strike, and it will go to 1-1.
Let's look at the slider right there, kind of buckling Encarnacion a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he had any inkling that he was going to throw that pitch.
1-1 delivery on the way to him. Inside corner strike.
And they don't always have to be great ones because basically it's a slider, especially the first one, a slider to fastball count. And once you do that, the advanced scouts and all the film they watch, you get an idea that you're pretty successful doing that type of pitching.
Brad Brock finished up with 2 innings. He gave up 2 runs, 5 hits. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Norris, 8 runs, 7 hits over 3 with a walk and a strikeout. And Dave Wallish maneuvering the bullpen through the rest of this ball game. 2-2, runner on first base. Garcia will miss up high with it. And the count goes to 3-2.
Jason Garcia only 22 years old. So these are the situations when you face a team like Toronto, 3, 4, and 5. That you don't overthrow because you don't throw any harder. Don't command it. Doesn't move as much. And by trying to throw harder, very rarely can you ever really be able to do that. Key is try to relax if you can and speed up the arm, not the body.
3-2, runner not going. Garcia's his pitch fouled off all the way from A ball to the majors. For Garcia, in light of being the Rule 5 player, he was at Lowell and Greenville last year. Class A ball, Greenville. 3 ball, 2 strike count. At first base, Bautista not running here. Another one fouled away.
And I really think that, I mean, I'm certainly not the vice president of baseball operations. They love his arm. But for me, the only way this club will be able to carry him all year is if the starting pitching is as good as it was last year. Otherwise, you're going to need T.J. McFarland back here as a long man because you just won't have enough pitching. There you go. And it doesn't mean any reflection on whether he can pitch or not. Again, if your starters don't give you the innings, he's a guy that even though he did start in the minor leagues, you would like to think that maybe you'd have a more experienced long guy. But there's a nice little movement. And there's the guy that can hit him as far as anybody. Swung right through it.
Yeah, nice 2-seam fastball down in the zone there from Garcia. You know what they really loved about Garcia, aside from his age, is he has a pretty smooth delivery. It's a repeatable delivery. You see a young pitcher like that with that kind of poise on the mound, your eyes light up. You can work with that, develop that better, and they think he's going to come a lot quicker.
Well, I kind of said that on the broadcast the other night, and somebody said, wow, he falls off. Bob Gibson fell off.
A lot.
Real well. All the way to the Hall of Fame.
Right. 0-1 delivery inside. That'll straighten Donaldson up a little bit. Donaldson's had 3 RBIs, a double, sac fly, and he has walked and scored a run. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Bautista over there at first base, not with a big lead because Toronto's got a big lead, 10-2 here in the 6th inning. And that's a broken bat base hit into right field. Shattered the bat. Bautista will head over to third, played in by Snyder. No, they'll have first and third again with only 1 away here in the 6th inning, and Donaldson has his second hit, 2 for 2.
Anything up in the zone today they've hit. I mean, that's a slider. It's away. It's just maybe not down at the knees, stays up just enough, and then you get the luck factor. And Gordy, you know better than I, he'll take a broken bat for a base hit, regardless of what the scoreboard says.
Absolutely. And you know what gives an offensive player an advantage on that? Even though that pitch is off the plate a little bit, it was on the same plane. There wasn't a lot of tilt at the end of that slider. It stayed kind of flat and up, and that just allows him to get more of the bat on, even though it's a broken bat, find some outfield grass.
Navarro, first inning, 2 RBI double, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Garcia's pitch will miss away. First and third, 1 down. Double play depth for the Orioles infield, and now 13 hits on the board for the Blue Jays, part of that 10-2 lead. 1-0 delivery on the way. Navarro puts it up in the air to left field. Bautista will tag up at third. Steve Pearce makes the catch. His throw will come into second base. And again, they get the job done. Navarro's got 3 RBIs in the game. That one on the sac fly. 11-2.
Hey, you're finding out against this team it's not too hard to give up runs. If you get a guy on, you walk Bautista. That's what he does if he's not hitting home runs. And then you get the double to the opposite field, and then everybody talks about a man on third, less than 2, get him in. The good hitting teams do it.
They have done it here today. Remaining at first base is Donaldson and Smoke. 1 for 3, a base hit and a run scored for the switch hitter. So Justin Smoke 2 down. And the pitch will miss outside for a ball. We'll be back tomorrow night with you, of course, for the second game. Saturday night ball game. Ubaldo Jimenez, Aaron Sanchez. 6:30 O's Extra. 7 o'clock for the game. Pitch is outside. Then the Sunday afternoon game, which will be a 1:30 game, with Chris Tillman and Drew Hutchison both winning their opening starts. They'll be the pitchers scheduled to start Sunday. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That'll be up high, 3-0. And Garcia falling behind. 35 innings pitched to Greenville last year, 17 walks. At Lowell, he gave up 7 in 20. Not a lot of innings pitched in the minors. 3-0 delivery, and that's up high. 4 in a row. Puts him on.
That'll prompt the visit from pitching coach Dave Wallace. Settle him down a little bit. Might see something mechanically.
Well, you know, you make a good point. You talked about the lack of tilt, and I talked to Jason after the game down in before we got on the plane on Wednesday night, and I said, how'd you feel? He said, well, it wasn't really nervous. He said, I got real quick, and when you get very quick, kind of like a hitter, he kind of leans forward too much, the bag drags with you. Well, when you pitch, you'd like to load, get your arm up, and get your arm out in front. When your body goes too quick, and I think that's pretty much what Dave Wallace is talking about, you lose tilt, you lose command, you lose velocity, you lose location. And for a young guy, it's certainly understandable. First week in the big leagues, he's trying to be real good. He knows that he's going to stay all year. He has to do that. So, again, having trouble relaxing.
2 on and 2 down. Kevin Pillar up. Pillar double, 1 for 3. He has scored a run. And Pillar lifts that one high up in the air. Pierce coming in. Cabrera going out. Pierce the call. And he's got it. So that will do it. A run in, 1 hit, a couple left on base. 11-2 Jays.
Ceremonies, a lot of fun at the yard as Machado comes through to greet everybody. Of course, the Orioles fans excited he's back in the lineup. And Bud Norris, some struggles today. 3 innings of work, 7 hits given up, 8 runs, and all of them earned. Not the typical Bud Norris start. And Burley, he's kept the O's in check. This powerhouse offense, he's kept them off balance and out in front. And he has a commanding lead, 11-2. And take a look at the starting pitcher comparison. Mark Burley, the 5 strong innings. Bud Norris, the early exit with just 3. You see Burley still in the ballgame. And remember, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Chris Davis. And he puts one to left field. That may have enough. Warning track. Wall. And what a catch! Oh, what a catch! Pilar up against the wall. Timed it perfectly and denies Davis the extra base hit.
Absolutely no chance of catching that until he did.
Right.
Well, I mean, look at it. He took one look at the wall and then a sprint.
That's just wanting it more.
Well, I always talk about Earl Weaver going, you know what, I like my guys to play deep because they can't go back. It's much easier to come in. Well, Pilar had no problem going back and hits the wall. It's padded here at Camden Yards. Otherwise, boy, that's an easy way to separate your shoulder.
Great defensive play. Hard to tell whether that would have cleared the wall. Probably hit the top of it, but not to worry about that now. Bautista's out of the ball game. Steve Tollefson has come on to play in right field for Bautista. Don't know if there's anything wrong. Bautista had a big day at the plate. First base, Smoke. Delman Young is retired, and there are 2 down. See if Bautista, if you see anything that may have physically gone wrong as he crosses the plate here.
A little wince. Checking his calf out a little bit there.
Well, with a 9-run lead. The key to the Blue Jays, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of them, but health is one of them, especially for the position players. You start with your shortstop. You can go to Bautista, who's had wrist problems. Encarnacion, you know, he had the quad pull last year that cost him really about 6 or 7 weeks. And then they're young starters. But health is wealth for this team if they can stay healthy.
It's seems like it's been their story the last few years. A few years ago, they made all those big trades, brought in a lot of big name players, and injuries just destroyed them, starting rotation out. And even last year, you mentioned that they were in first place, and then Encarnacion goes down, and Brett Lowry went down, and they just faded.
And then even Adam Lind, John Gibbons, their skipper, talking about that.
He gets the walk, so at 2 down, that'll be only the second walk surrendered. 2 down, 1 on. Opening week continues at Oriole Park. The Birds host the arch-rival Yankees Monday through Wednesday. Good seats still remain for each game, including the year's first Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet on Tuesday. All upper reserves, only $10 when purchased in advance. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. 2 down, 1 on. Snyder will take the pitch up high, a single. And he has popped out. Orioles beat Toronto last year in the season series 11 games to 8. Orioles opening up with 19 consecutive games against the American League East. And that was a swing. Wished it wasn't, but it was, and it's 1-1.
Just 79 miles an hour, but real good movement on that pitch. And gets out in front of the hitter, and it looks like it's going to stay there. It might fade back over the plate, and it just rides in and ties Snyder up pretty good.
Well, Greg Maddux is in the Hall of Fame with over 350 wins.
That's going to go to center field. That'll be a base hit. Snyder continues his productivity. He's had 2 hits in this game. He's got 6 hits and 12 at bats.
And what Greg always talked about, and I think it applies to Mark Burley, was basically it starts with location, then it comes movement, and third is velocity. So when he locates, when he gets movement, and when, of course, the velocity is kind of a moot point. Liam Hendricks, who actually was an Oriole for a really brief time. Somewhere along the line, I think he was in the Oriole organization for a week or 2.
81 pitches thrown by Burley so far in this his opening assignment for the year. And a ground ball down to third base. Force play at third will be taken there by Donaldson. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. 6 complete. 11-2 Jays. And this moment in history is presented by them. And in 1928, Ty Cobb and Tris Speaker were in the lineup for the first time together as teammates. An 8-3 loss to New York, played at Shibe Park. The Tris Speaker Hall of Fame part of that duo. He was inducted in 1937, one of the great center fielders, primarily with the Cleveland Indians. Had a .344 lifetime batting average and considered one of the great defensive center fielders of all time. Tris Speaker. Ty Cobb, Tris Speaker. That'd be a pretty good back-to-back for any pitcher to face in the ball game.
Pitch around him. That's what I would do. Dead ball era. You know, they're not going deep. They're just going to be on base all afternoon, annoying you to death.
And the pitch will be taken outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Travis at the plate, then Reyes and Pompey at the top. Garcia giving up a run on a hit with a couple of walks in the 6th inning, working his 2nd inning of relief. Jammed him. Machado, the charge, and gets it. 1 down, 7th inning. Follow the Orioles all season with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is the up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, look-in replays, and broadcasts. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Adam Jones delivered the home run in the 1st inning for the Orioles. They scored 1 more, coming around in the 5th inning on the RBI single by Adam. And that's been it for the Orioles offense. 11-13-1 the Jays, 2-8-1 for the Orioles. Pitch is going to miss to Reyes. Reyes a double single run scored, a 2 for 4. So he's 5 for 16 to start the year for Toronto.
Yeah, you can see Jason Garcia with his repertoire of the changeup when he started, 88 to 89. There's another one. Actually, a good fastball down and away. Yeah, I think this is good for him because you come in. You saw the adrenaline rush the other night in Tampa. Now all of a sudden, the 2nd inning, you can pitch. When you're young and you have a power arm, I think there's a tendency to throw instead of pitch. So now you get back to making your pitches, calm down a little bit.
Gets him to look at a fastball. Going to miss a pie. You saw Burley over there. Pete Walker, pitching coach. Former Oriole coach DeMarlo Hales, the bench coach over there. There's Burley on the right. Here's the 2-2 delivery and a little last shot to right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Reyes has got his 3rd hit of the ball game, and we've had a few quail that have come down here at Camden Yards today off Toronto bats. They all count, and that's hit number 14.
And they had a nice array of hits, as it turns out. Of course, the one thing, and that's the amazing thing, the Orioles, they're down by 9. They have the home run.
Yep.
at least at this point.
Here is Pompey. Dalton Pompey, a double in the fourth inning for 2 RBIs, double in the first, and he scored 2 for 4. The outs he's made have both been on 1-3 putouts. Runner at first base, 1 out, and the 1-0 count on Pompey.
You mentioned DeMarlo Hale, who was the third base coach here. I talked to him earlier today about some of the younger players that he has on the team, and I know a lot of major league coaches have a hard time when young players come up because you have to do so much coaching at the major league level. And he and his coaching staff, he said they really appreciate it. They love the energy that they bring. It's a smart group of young players. You tell them something, they typically do it that night or the next day. And he really loves how, they pay attention to the detail of the game, backing up bases, taking care of their responsibilities on the field. And he thinks that the energy that they bring is really going to help this ball club this season.
Pierce makes the play on it. Fly ball up by Pompey. With Bautista out of the ball game, Tollefson now will get his first at bat. Coming in for Bautista. Bautista had a big day. Double, a couple of singles. He scored 4 runs, reaching the other time in a walk, and had a couple of RBIs. 2 down. Tollefson will take the pitch for a strike. Sellout crowd for opening day of 45,936. 45,936. And a tough start for them as the Orioles. Bud Norris gave up 4 runs, 4 hits in that first inning, and the Jays have not looked back.
Yeah, even Steve Tollefson, a utility guy, big home run when he played for the Orioles off of Cliff Lee in interleague play. But he can play around. He's another guy that can platoon against left-handed pitching. Close to 300 last year.
Tollefson will take that one. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
I just get the sense, even though they make so much about having the 6 rookies, they have a nice blend of veteran people. I mean, you got 40-year-old R.A. Dickey, you got 36-year-old Mark Burley, who's about to win his 200th game today. So if I'm a young pitcher, and you noticed even when Burley was pitching today, sitting right next to him is tomorrow night's starter. And that was Aaron Sanchez. So good blend. You have a lot of guys that can help you get better if you're a young player, and that's kind of the way it started when I came with the Orioles. I had Robin Roberts as a roommate, twice my age, willing to mentor me.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Tollefson with a runner at first. Tollefson on the check swing. It's there for the strike. That'll be a couple of strikeouts for Garcia. 7th inning stretch time in this home opener. Jays on top. Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. 7th inning stretch time here at Camden Yards, and 11-2. The Jays on top. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick, Jim Palmer. Gentlemen, how about a little general overall look at the American League East this season, and what do you see?
Well, I think there's a lot of parity. I think a lot of these teams are going to have to depend on the depth of their organization. We talked about the Orioles, the success they've had over the last 3 seasons, digging into the minor leagues, and I think teams are going to be tested. The Yankees are a very old team. They're going to hopefully stay healthy and have depth if somebody does go down. But the Blue Jays the same way. They've had to deal with injuries last few years, so they're keeping their fingers crossed. And saw Tampa, Boston. It's a whole look there, facelift there. So you don't know how they're going to be. So I think teams are very evenly matched. I think the Orioles have to be the favorite with everybody coming back.
And the Orioles have to get really good starting pitching, and something they couldn't do today. So, you know, the Red Sox, they're printing money up there. I don't know where they're cutting. We're in the wrong city. I thought they printed money in Washington and Fort Worth. No. Up in Boston too. But anyway, they're an improved ball club. They went from first to last. So it'll be an interesting race. You know what? This is what's so great about the year. The best team wins. And you could go to John Gibbons, you can go to Buck Showalter. Hey, congratulations, have a good year. But at the end of the day, the teams that do the things, we saw how the Orioles have to win. They have to play great defense, get great pitching, and they got to win the one-run games. And that's the good thing about today. It's not a one-run loss if they end up losing this game. This was a laugher. So.
All right, Mike Burley's out of the ball game. There are the numbers for him. Effective as per norm, although the Orioles generally hit him up hard. Only a couple of runs, 8 hits over 6 in this game. They have Hendricks on out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he comes in. Last year he got traded to Kansas City for Danny Valencia, and then they got him right back. So we've seen him when he was actually pitching with the Twins years ago. So he'll come in and try to get some outs. He may end up pitching the rest of the game if he's effective.
Orioles will try and get some runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and Joseph up. Joseph scored a run in the 5th. He's had a double and a walk in the ball game. Cabrera and Pierce will be due up. Pitch is going to be on the outside corner from Hendricks. So they got the start the Jays did. They want it. Keep in mind, Burley's after victory number 200, so unless the Orioles come back in this ball game, he'll win his 200th game. That'll go to short. Reyes. 1 down, 7th inning. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the March of Dimes. The O's have 11 for a total of $550. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
Yeah, what a remarkable career to this point Mark Burley's had to win 200 games. If he does, he'll be the 111th pitcher that's done that. I was reading an article. If you think about it, you think Tommy John won 288, I believe. Jamie Moyer won over, I think, 270. They're kind of in the same. Maybe run through very hard. They just seem to give up less runs than the guy that they pitched against. They throw a lot of ground balls. They feel their position, and they end up pitching for a long, long time.
Burley gets the win. He'll be 9-10 lifetime against the Orioles. Hendricks with a 1-ball 1-strike count on Cabrera. Will take it inside. Cabrera, after his first hit in the ball game, couple of fly balls to right, ground ball up. Switch hitter now with a 1-for-7 at the start of the season. 2-1 delivery. That one lofted to the gap. He'll pick up another one. Pompey going over. So Cabrera's on a 1-out single in the 7th.
Nice little piece of hitting right there from Everett Cabrera. He was an all-star in the National League back in 2013. He can run as well. He led the National League. You see this pitch down in the zone. Great head position. Gets behind the baseball. Stays through it. This piece of hitting right there. And Dan Duquette speaks highly of Everett, and he can really make an impact. And I think for the Orioles fans' sake, they hope J.J. Hardy gets back as soon as possible. But it's nice to know that here's a guy that's had experience and done some really good things at the major league level that can help this team.
And he can also play second base.
Here's Steve Pierce. Pierce will take it down low for a ball. He is 0 for 3. in the ball game. Pierce comes into the season with a .267 lifetime mark against Toronto and 4 career home runs against the Jays. He will foul that one off down the right field side. Teams off to the perfect starts through the first series of the year. Detroit, Kansas City, Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Colorado are all 3-0. Cleveland is home against the Tigers in that series this afternoon. Tigers leading at 1-0. 1-1 delivery. So the question now, will the Detroit Tiger pitching staff give up a run the rest of the year?
Well, they 24 scoreless innings to start it.
Yes.
I think the first run was unearned.
Yes.
I think Joe Mauer had something to do with it. He either reached on an error. It's a nice little start.
Gee, come on. And you haven't got your supposed number 1 or 2 guy? 2 ball, 1 strike count, and a hard slider away.
Well, runs haven't been a problem here.
No.
But there were, 6 shutouts in the first 37 games. Tim Perchin was down there. He was spouting it. Hitters are going to have to think of something. I don't.
Good luck.
Unless you're a J.
3-1 delivery.
You already did, but. And then I talked to Gordon Lakey, who is a van scout for Phillies. He said, I'm down in Houston. He said, they are going to strike out more than any team in the history of the game. He said he saw Trevor Bauer for Cleveland pitch against the Astros. The first 9 batters, he struck out 5 and walked 4. Nobody hit the ball. He said Evan Gattis struck out 8 consecutive times. So obviously not cutting down on the swing.
3-2 delivery on the way, hard to short. Reyes 1, Travis 2. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. 7 complete. The Jays in game 1 of this 3-game set have an 11-2 lead.
Kelman Young 21 for 50, 4 home runs, and what does Burley get to do as the Orioles are trying to get back in the game? Gets him to hit the double play, turns him over, and they do a nice job at turning a double play. So that is your T-Mobile game changer. And again, apparently it doesn't seem like much, but at the time the Orioles had a chance to get back in the game and weren't able to do it.
Jim Palmer, Legends Park. When you come here, make sure out beyond center field that you stop by and see those 6 great statues.
I'm going out there and put this baseball cake, the baseball they have here, part of the cake they gave me for being here 50 years. Let's
50.
say it one
Is
more
that
time.
50 years? Holy cow. Encarnacion will go to short with this one. Cabrera makes the play. Encarnacion retired.
Did I tell you I was the youngest pitcher ever to start a game for the Orioles? I was 4.
You were 4?
I was
4 years old.
4.
Wow.
50 years ago.
Amazing.
4.
And you still have that young,
18
youthful
years.
look.
Yeah, I gave me that number when I was 4.
Because that's what it added up to.
Yeah.
Here is Donaldson. Donaldson, a big day, double single, sac fly. He's had a walk, 3 RBIs, runs scored. Donaldson among third basemen last year. How good was he? First in runs, walks, doubles, and extra base hits. And here he is in Toronto to add to their offense. Breaking ball that tied him up, catches the inside corner, 1-1.
I don't know. Alex Anthopoulos, their general manager. What kind of medals can you give somebody in Canada because he got Donaldson? And it wasn't that Brett Lowry couldn't play, he just never could stay healthy.
1-1 delivery outside.
I mean, he came up. I thought Lowry was going to be one of the next really good players.
So did they.
Yeah, and then he kept getting hurt. John Farrell was the manager. He said he makes a ground ball to third base exciting, but he couldn't hit enough of them. He was always hurt. And then they get to Josh Donaldson.
Inside, and it is a tremendous acquisition, especially when you look at it that way, because they thought they had a full-time third baseman in Lowry who was going to be there for a long time. And then that doesn't work out, and you're able to get a Donaldson to take his place. I mean, that's a heck of a move. 3 ball, 1 strike count. And that ball will be taken to right field. Snyder is there. And he's got it 2 down.
Yeah, and ideally, and Mike, you know this better than I mean, we've both been around the game so long, but you hit it in a real good lineup. Not everybody gets hot at the same time.
Right. It's nice to have different pieces that can pick it up.
Nice job by Garcia. Asked to extend himself a little bit in this ball game, and he did. Wesley Wright had been warming up in the bullpen, so the rookie is out of there. Wright is on. And Webb. That got done yesterday with a deal with the Orioles and Dodgers. Chris O'Brien, a catcher, Ben Rowan, a right-hander, come to the Orioles. Webb and Brian Ward, who we saw a good deal of in a lot of the backfield games during spring training, they go to the Dodgers.
Yeah, Brian Ward, real good catch and throw guy. I think there were a lot of high hopes for him, but they went and got a few more catchers to get that depth and found that he was a little bit expendable, so got rid of him. And see Wesley Wright now in the ball game.
Yeah,
right on for Garcia. 2 down and nobody on. And the pitch taken by Navarro.
Yeah, really good changeup. Fastball, little breaking ball. Came in the other night through the first pitch changeup. Got a nice little ground ball. Experienced. Not going to light up the radar gun. Just get righties and lefties out.
0-1's going to go through.
Yeah, the catcher they acquired from the Dodgers is Chris O'Brien. Actually, his dad was Charlie O'Brien, longtime catcher.
Yeah, he's a little bit younger than Ward, too. I think 2 years younger.
And then Ben Rowan is a kind of a submariner, very much like throws from the same angle as Darren O'Day. Nobody can pitch at that level. He's been that good.
1-1 delivery is away. Wesley Wright, 30 years old, veteran, Chicago. Last season with the Cubs, 58 games, 0-3, 3.17 ERA. He worked only 48 innings in the 58 games, so you're looking at the left-handed specialist as used last year. 2-1 delivery, will miss inside. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Now the Orioles do one of those during at-bat shifts, as Jonathan Scope will move from the second base side to the shortstop side of the bag.
Yeah, the count 3-1 behind, more apt to pull it.
He did. Down to third, backhanded. Machado. That's it. 3 up and 3 down in the inning. Good job by Garcia, who came on in relief for the Orioles. It is a 11-2 Jays lead. They jumped out 4 in the first and have had the lead throughout. And the bullpen for manager John Gibbons will have Colt Hines out.
Yeah, they got him out of the Dodgers organization. Briefly pitched in the big leagues when he was with the Padres back in 2013 in 22 games. So he comes in, and there are the numbers. Hit an inning, so maybe not overpowering. Doesn't walk anybody, obviously. 11 walks in 60 innings. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah, I think he just wowed the team in spring training. He had an exceptional spring, and another one of the guys in the Blue Jays' new philosophy: if you are the best man, you will be on this team. And he proved that he should be here, and he gets the call.
Yeah, as long as you're not going to lose guys. I mean, we saw Jeff Francis, the veteran lefty, was a starter. Now he kind of was evolved into a reliever. So, you know, as long as those guys don't end up leaving, kind of what Ryan Webb did, even though, you know, the Orioles, if you're not going to be on the club, it's nice to have somebody else assume the almost $3 million a year salary.
Bullpen still a question for Toronto. It was last year. Their bullpen ended up 12th in ERA with a 4.09. Pitch will be taken by Adam Jones. Jones, big day. Home run, single, triple. Get a double. We got. Yes, that's what we got. 1-0 count. Adam had come in with only 1 hit and 11 at bats. That one will be a strike call. So if he can get the triple here, we'll have the cycle.
Yeah, tried to stretch a single into a double.
1-1. They give him the gap towards right center. Fouls that one back. Some changes in the Jays bullpen already. Brett Cecil, who'd been the closer, isn't anymore. One of the youngsters, Miguel Castro, has picked up the role, and Roberto Osuna, another young player, could also share in some of those save duties. Aaron Loup will be kind of a third guy if needed as a left-hander, and they're still structuring the bullpen. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be to short. Reyes, see the arm off the mark. Jones on. Base hit.
Nice day for Adam Jones, finding holes all over the field and always hustling down that first base line. Real separator for the superstar Adam Jones is his hustle, and he really puts some pressure on defense, and he's able to come away with a base hit. See, Reyes has to hurry his throw. They make the off balance throw to first, but pull Smoke off.
Yeah, an accurate throw. That would have been bang bang.
Would have been very close.
So Adam with a 4-hit Gay is on at first base. Shift put on against Davis. Chris getting his first hit of the new year in the 3rd inning with a base hit, robbed of an extra base hit, maybe a home run, hard to tell, and a great catch by Pilar in the 6th inning, going up against the left field wall to haul it in. 0-1 delivery to him. Chris on the big cut against the left-hander.
Boy, lefty on lefty here. You really got to keep that front side in as a hitter and bury it and be fearless, basically, because he's throwing across his body with a 3/4 arm slot. Really tough to pick up the baseball.
Towering fly ball back near the wall and skims down the scoreboard. Adam Jones coming to 3rd. Relay throw cut off, and it'll be a double for Davis.
Well, for Colt Hines, welcome to the American League, and Chris Davis. Not too many guys can flick it with one hand and almost hit it out of the ballpark.
Right, he flicks one to left field, gets robbed, and here, look at how far out in front. Unbelievable strength. And that was almost a home run.
Well, that's kind of what you talked about, keeping the front side in or you don't hit that pitch.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation. Jones reading it, but still moving to second. Puts the head down and goes. He wants to score a run for Chris Davis.
So the Orioles get a couple on with nobody out here in the 8th inning. Delman Young's going to pick up an RBI. Adam Jones will score. Throw in by Tollison. So Young picks up his first hit and will make it an 11-3 ball game.
You got to keep playing, keep putting good bats together. They may not win this game, but you know, you're a professional. You go about it the right way, and you keep putting the pressure on any way you can.
Well, they already have somebody else up in their bullpen. That's what you force them to do.
Pete Walker, pitching coach.
Yeah, I think the least of their problems in the bullpen is Brett Cecil. He had shoulder problems. There's Marco Estrada. So again, you know, Cecil not at full strength, and you have an alternative in Castro, Gary, that you mentioned. He was throwing 99 and had a great spring. But the rest of the bullpenners, to get to your, but Cecil, you know, he had 19 saves last year. Pitch count was what, about 19 pitches an inning. So that's a lot for a closer over the course of a year. But they can figure out maybe who can close. Can you get to your closer? That might be the question.
Here is Manny Machado, 1st and 3rd, nobody out. He'll play for 2 in the infield. Manny will ground it towards short. Reyes is there. There's 1. Need a quick relay, and they get it. Run will score. No RBI. Davis crosses the plate. It is an 11-4 ball game, but Colt Hines gets the ground ball he wanted right there.
Yeah, he gets the ball down and gets a good result. Everything up got hit hard.
I will say this, one thing young second baseman Travis will learn is that the Orioles will come in hard. He has been getting flipped all day. A couple nice turns from him, staying in there, and you get big Delman Young bearing on you. You got to get rid of that ball quick. Did a good job there to avoid some serious contact.
So that'll clear the bases now with 2 down. Here is Snyder, a couple of base hits, 2 singles, and he has popped out. Hines trying to get out of the inning. Hines 8 years in the minors before getting a major league chance this year. 29 years old. We've been told on Bautista by the Toronto public relations people, cramping was the problem why he came out of the ball game. We saw him grab down towards his calf when he crossed the plate before he came out of the game.
Well, it's a penalty for being on base as much as he was.
That's right. Cramp up when you
all
do
that
a lot of
running. Single, double, single.
You'll take it.
Running around the outfield, making nice plays.
1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down.
How old
Snyder on a wave, and he is gone. So a couple of runs on 3 hits with no errors, nobody left on base after 8. by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by PNC for the achiever in you. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, and Mike Bordick on this opening day at Camden Yards for the Orioles. 11-4. 4-run, 4-hit first inning. 5-run, 5-hit fourth inning. The big innings for Toronto in this ball game. Last run they scored came in the 6th. The Orioles, Jones, the home run, couple of RBIs. Wright here in the 9th inning will stay on and work to Smoke. Bottom third of the order. Smoke, a base hit, a run scored. He's walked, struck out, flied out in the ball game. Well, he's had a couple of hits now and 7 at bats this year to start out. 2-0.
Yeah, another guy, even though he's been around for what, 3-4 years, he's Batista, Encarnacion, Donaldson. He's going to learn a lot being in this lineup. I just remember when we used to go down to Texas, they had Justin Smoke, they had Chris Davis, and they had Mitch Moreland. And as it turned out, Smoke went to Seattle. Chris Davis came here, and Mitch Moreland is no longer playing first base. Bill Spiegler is.
That's why Davis was available, because they kept saying we've got too many people lined up here for first base.
Smoke was one of them.
3 ball, 1 strike count from Wright. Pitch on the way and a grounder up the middle. He's got a base hit. So Smoke is on. He's got a 2-for-4 ball game. And add another hit on the board. 15 for the Jays.
Got a new hitting instructor, Brooke Jacoby. He comes over. But he's got to be very pleased with today's results.
Make me look good, guys.
Yeah. Well, they were saying, I mean, you know, coach, I saw, as you mentioned, I ran into DeMarlo Hale too. Their bench coach. He said we should have won all 3. The sports writer said we should have all won 3 in New York. Now we all know it doesn't work that way, because the bullpen didn't pitch well the 1 inning and they blew a 3-1 lead. But they're a very confident group.
0-1 count. Pilar, he's had a double, a run scored, 1-for-4 in the ball game. Wright's pitch to him to center. Jones was fairly shallow, so a long run back. He'll make the catch. Smoke will go back to first base, 1 away in the 9th.
Adam can go back very well on the baseball. He's on spring training this year. I think he intentionally was playing shallow to work on his jumps, and he had a great spring, tracking him down. Seen some nice plays going both to his left and right today.
Well, Wayne Kirby on the left, who first base coach in charge of the outfielders, their conditioning and positioning and the rest of the stuff. I think there's a tendency here, though. This is such a small ballpark that if you play too shallow, you don't catch some of the balls that you might catch it. And I only mean by a step or 2. Especially when it gets a little warmer and the ball jumps.
Devin Travis, the number 9 hitter, hit by a pitch in the 4th, scored. Got that base hit in the 5th inning. He's had 4 hits on the season now, including a home run. Smoke on at first base. Davis playing behind him. Ball in the air towards the gap, left center, long run. Jones, Pierce, nobody's going to get it off the wall. Smoke, not fleet of foot, will come to third base and stop. It'll be a double. Second hit of the ball game for Travis, and 16 for the Jays.
And the other factor, and we can throw it in there right there, talking about playing shallow, if you make your pitches, which is not. Now watch this ball be up. So again, it's a lot easier to get leverage on a ball up. He's not a hard thrower, so when you're playing shallow, the ball gets over your head a lot easier.
So Wesley Wright will work now with 2 in scoring position and 1 out. And Reyes coming to the plate. Reyes already a 3-hit ball game. A couple of singles, a double. 3 for 5. Orioles will play it halfway, at least that's where they are right now. Now backing up in the infield. Ball put up in the air again. Runner will tag up at third. Jones coming over. He'll put it away. Smoke. Here's the throw coming into third. Another sac fly. Reyes gets this one in the RBI. They've been effective today in doing what needs to be done. These productive at-bats, even if there are outs.
Yeah, they've done the right thing with runners at third base. I think they've had 3 sac flies in this ball game. Runners in scoring positions and very successful. You give yourself plenty of opportunities. they've capitalized on many of them. They get the 12 runs across the board.
Yeah, you look at their lineup, you figure there's going to be at least 3 guys, if they stay healthy, that could hit between 30 and 50 home runs. But at the end of the day, over 162 games, but he had a home run. Encarnacion has one of the best home run ratio per bat. That's 1 out of a little bit over 13. Get up a lot of other times where you can do a lot of other things to help you win.
2 down, runner on at second base. Dalton Pompey will take the pitch inside. Couple of doubles, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. You can see the strength of this Toronto offense by the fact this is the 6th plate appearance for these guys at the top of the order for Toronto. Right with a 2-0 delivery on the way, and that one launched. Boy, did he try and jump on that one. Pierce will go back. He's got room and will put it away. So a run in on a couple of hits with a base runner left on. Bottom of the 9th coming up. In a hurry, the Jays have the 12-4 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Hines worked for an inning, 2 runs, 3 hits with a strikeout.
Yeah, Marco Estrada last year with Milwaukee as a starter for most of the year, at least 18 starts, and then went to the bullpen. Last 9 appearances scoreless. So obviously the advanced scout saying, well, this guy struggled as a starter because he threw the most home runs, I think, 29 of them. Out of the bullpen and so forth. So he gets a chance now to come in and maybe only face hitters once or maybe twice.
Orioles will have Scope, Joseph, and Cabrera due up against Estrada. Burley, 2 runs, 8 hits over 6. Liam Hendricks, an inning, a hit. Colt Hines worked an inning, 2 runs on 3 hits. Orioles have struck out only twice in the game and have had only 2 walks. For Bud Norris, 8 runs, 7 hits over 3 plus. Brad Brock, 2 runs, 5 hits over 2. Garcia, a run on 2 hits, 2 2/3, and Wright, a run on 2 hits over an inning and a third. So no Oriole pitcher has gone unscathed in this ball game, either runs or hits. Jonathan Scope, his base hit came back in the 2nd inning. 0-1 delivery to him, will be outside for a ball.
I don't think you can be disappointed in the Orioles offense. 12 hits, pretty good number. They hit into a couple double plays in situations that could have helped them out early in the ball game. So I think all in all, there have been some good contributors. Good to see Adam Jones swinging the bat well. It was nice to see Chris Davis go the other way, even though he had it robbed, and get on the board a little bit. But this offense is going to be there. There's just too many weapons. But it's hard to compete when opposing team puts 12 on the ball.
Lashes at that one deep to left field, way back. Jonathan Scope, goodbye, home run.
Well, there's a home run ball. 29 home runs, as we mentioned, 27 as a starter. And that ball pulverized out of here.
Yeah, that's a big ball.
16 home runs by Jonathan in 2014.
He loves to jump on those pitches that maybe are even a little high out of the strike zone.
Well, Estrada, what, 89, 90? I don't think he's going to, in the American League East, where there's a lot of small parks, pitch up in the zone and be very successful.
Take a look at Scope's swing here. And a fastball up and out over. Gets those arms extended. There's a lot of leverage there. That is a big body squaring that baseball up.
His first home run of 2015 and fouled away by Joseph. Caleb Joseph batting ninth, 1 for 2 and a walk.
Well, it goes back to your point, Mike. It is, and you can't always do it, obviously, but when you start, and everybody, if you're pitching against Mark Burley, you've got to respect the fact that he's won as many games as he has. And the key to being a good starting pitcher is try to keep the game close enough where your guys think they have a chance to win. And it puts constant pressure on the other team to use their pitchers and so on, and have to maybe go to, their bullpen a little bit earlier and things like that. And I guess it kind of brings up your point, is that if Bud had been able to pitch a little bit better, talk about Bud Norris, this would have been a game where John Gibbons would have had to do a lot more managing.
A lot of runners in the ball game, what Mike was talking about for both teams. Down to third. Nice catch. Donaldson going to the line, and Joseph retired on the line drive out. Never even got rid of his bat on that one.
This reaction play down there by Donaldson. This is a bullet. He just drops the head on it down in the zone, and that is hooking hard away. Good concentration right there. You got to keep playing no matter what the lead, and he does. See him get his feet moving. Quick jab step. A nice extension, catching it clean.
So the Orioles one away here in the ninth inning. Here's Cabrera, base hit, 1 for 4. Orioles have gone 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position today. Toronto 5 for 14. That's a whole series worth of runners in scoring position, but they've had 16 hits. The Orioles have had 13. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 1 down. Estrada looking to wrap it up. And the 1-1 overhand pitch will be missed.
Yeah, there's a good changeup. Yeah, that's a good changeup because he turns it over to a lefty. It goes down and away to a righty. It was right to the bat head of Caleb Joseph, and Donaldson kept from him giving up a double.
One and 2. Outfield shaded, playing him to pull. Pitch will be away. Right back with you tomorrow night. Game 2 here at Camden Yards. It'll be Ubaldo Jimenez. Aaron Sanchez getting the start. 6:30 O's Extra. 7 o'clock the ball game Sunday afternoon. 1:30 ball game. Chris Tillman, Drew Hutchison, and the Yankees come in for 3. In the air, left field. Pollard moved over that way and doesn't have to go very far to get it for the second out. So Cabrera retired. There's Ubaldo Jimenez waiting to make the start. Pitched well enough in spring training to really change the decision of the Orioles that he would be skipped the first time through because of the day off, and instead decided he will pitch in the rotation when he would be due for a first start. Breaking ball will be taken down low.
Ubaldo had a nice spring. He started off slow, but really kind of cleaned it up as spring training went along. You could see his confidence growing. It's going to be fun to watch him go, and hopefully, obviously, in a good way. Because he's got good enough movement.
Well, I've been sitting on the bench when you're pitching the next day, and the other team does a number on your pitching staff, and it certainly gets your attention. The other part of it is that you have to, when you have self-confidence, I'm going to be better. I'm going to make. You kind of learn from it. I'm going to make better pitches. I got to stay down in the zone, which is what he did in spring training. Ramon Martinez was signed. He worked along with Dave Wallace, Tom Cheedy, and maybe to wind up a little bit taller, use the 6'5", throw downhill, keep the ball down in the zone, and the other thing is throw strikes, something he did over his last 3-4 starts. So we'll see if he can do that tomorrow.
2-1 delivery on the way to Pierce, and it'll be taken outside. So Steve works to count 3-1, looking for his first hit of the ball game. He is now with the 0 for 4 today, 3 for 15. 2 of the hits home runs that he picked up against the Rays. Estrada, the 3-1 pitch. Pierce will pop that one up. Should be the ball game. Smoke. And that's that. So the Orioles here in the 9th inning will get a run and a hit. The home run by Jonathan Scope, but it's the big offense of the Jays that pulled them out to a win by a score of 12-5. Those watching on WJZ, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Join us again tomorrow. Game 2 of this 3-game set against the Blue Jays. Ubaldo Jimenez will take the mound. Aaron Sanchez for the Jays. Our coverage, Masson, 6:30. O's Extra, presented by Southwest, followed by our game coverage at 7. This has been a Masson presentation. O's Extra, presented by PNC. They're coming up right now with a look back at a big offensive day. For Jim Palmer, Mike Bordick, I'm Gary Thorne on behalf of all of our crew on this opening day. Adieu.